say, who? Former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore. Jim, do you have more money than brains or what? What are you thinking? I mean, I'm all for people saying they want to run for the president, but we've already got this fray going, and he's going to be the 17th major Republican candidate for president. Next week, they're going to take the field down to 10, and Fox is going to do the first debate. That'll be kind of cool. I think everybody's going to turn. This will probably be the most watched presidential debate, as opposed to most of them, which are the least watched presidential debates, because people want to see what Trump has to say. They want to see if he's going to go ballistic. They want to see if he's going to say real things other than, the appropriate things. Anyway, Trump leads the presidential race now with 25% of the polls. Just because he's real. Do I think he would be a good president? Probably not. But then I would like to see Rand Paul get in there and actually do something. Totally inappropriate Facebook comment aimed at gun owner could land a VA psychiatrist into big trouble. This thing really gets to me. A Veterans Affairs psychiatrist tried to walk back a comment he made on Facebook Tuesday in which he told a gun rights supporter to off himself. I kid you not. Greg Gorton, that's the doctor, his Facebook page says he is a professor of psychiatry at the University of Pennsylvania and a staff psychiatrist at the Philadelphia Veterans Affairs Medical Center, which he's worked at for 11 years. This is according to WCAU TV that reported this. Gorton was responding to another online user who posted a comment in favor of more people should own guns. The original Facebook status was also posted by an apparent gun rights supporter. Military Times is reporting the story that Gorton said, after he said, more people just need to own guns, Dr. Gorton said, a comment, off yourself. And then he said, I was just kidding. Whoa, are you serious? That is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And here's another unbelievable veteran story. The Koch brothers are about to destroy veterans' health care, and no one knows about it. The war on workers' rights has shifted to a new and unlikely battleground this week, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And for the more than 350,000 employees and the veterans they serve, the stakes could not be higher. In the wake of last year's secret wait list scandal, where VA managers rigged the scheduling system to make it appear that more veterans were being seen than actually were, Congress passed a law giving VA Secretary McDonald the authority to fire bad managers and the resources to hire enough staff to care for the massive influx of new vets in the VA system. Well, it appears now that there is a veterans organization, which I've told you about, is really highly suspect. Because any of the veterans organizations that get on TV, whether it be Bill O'Reilly or whether it be CNN, any of these people have to be part of the veterans agenda. And sure enough, I've told you about this group before, Concerned Veterans of America. I just get goosebumps. I mean, it's creepy. Every time I see Concerned Veterans of America, I'll tell you why after this break. We got a 1 minute, 10-second break. We'll be back with the Power Hour. Stay tuned. Joyce Riley here.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on Kcaa, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215.
This is Kcaa Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale.
I'm Chuck Tamlick, CNBC Radio Stocks. We'll try to make it 3 winning days in a row, but that may depend on economic news due in just a few minutes. The government's expected to report the economy grew at about a 2.5% clip in the spring. That would be a nice bounce back from the winter when it shrank because of the cold weather. Facebook stock will drop. Profits fell because it spent more money to grow. Facebook now has 1.5 billion users and makes 3/4 of its money on mobile advertising. Whole Foods stock will fall because it got caught overcharging customers in New York. Word spread, sales fell, profits dropped too. Procter & Gamble's profits fell 80% because its consumer products aren't selling well here or overseas. T-Mobile's earnings rose because its aggressive pricing helped it add another 2 million customers. And an insurance group says Ford's biggest all-aluminum F-150s aced their crash tests, but repairs cost 26% more than steel models. Chuck Tamlick, CNBC.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
Good morning, it's 6:02. Checking out your traffic and weather, looks like we've got what they term a monsoonal flow. It's bringing possible thunderstorms and flash flooding. Los Angeles and Orange County, they're going to hit highs in the upper 80s. The IE is going to be in the mid-90s and kind of sticky at that. Beaches are going to be in the upper 70s. Mountains and high deserts are going to see possible flash flooding. Already it's 65. A quick check of your drive this morning. Looks like we still have road construction at the Desert Center. That's I-10 eastbound between Eagle Mountain Road and 177. In Corona, there's stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley and Green River Road, and in the avocado paradise known as Temecula, we got stop-and-go traffic on the 15 southbound between 79 Winchester Road and 79 South. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
What have I learned so far? Well, I've learned there's no one right path for everyone.
I've learned that without my high school diploma, I could only do so much. My options were limited, very limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I can keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found a new career with training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I could change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
In AgNet West today, a Senate voluntary GMO labeling bill could be ready in September. More on the story after this.
You put more into your crops than most people realize. Time, effort, heart, and the not-so-proverbial blood, sweat, and tears. Farming's not just a career. It is your passion. At Compass Minerals, your passion is our commitment. We're proud to offer you Potassium Plus Premium Sulfate of Potash, a high-potassium fertilizer with sulfate sulfur and virtually no chloride. It's the potassium source that brings more to the table, so you can too. Call your local distributor or visit potassiumplus.com.
North Dakota Republican Senator John Hoeven is crafting a voluntary labeling bill and trying to get Democrats on board to pass voluntary labeling in the Senate.
We're trying to find something that is bipartisan and a good solution, but at this point it's still a work in progress over here.
So
we'll look at the House bill, but we're still working on this side in terms of exactly how to approach it.
The House passed GMO voluntary labeling 275 to 190 with 45 Democratic yes votes. That after turning back Democratic amendments to weaken or gut the bill. House Republicans argued mandatory state labeling laws upend interstate commerce and GMO labels scare consumers. Democrats argued consumers have the right to know what's in their food. Hoeven says he hasn't yet found a bipartisan answer in the Senate, but adds,
there's a clear recognition that you can't have 50 different state programs, that doesn't work. So then what's the right approach? What's the right solution in the Senate that will get the kind of bipartisan support? Because remember, we have to get to 60 votes, and so that's what we're working on.
Hoeven does not expect a two-party consensus on a Senate bill this month. He says it will likely happen after the summer break in September. But he agrees support by almost 4 dozen Democrats for the House version should help gain Democratic support in the Senate for voluntary over mandatory GMO labeling. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgnetWest.com.
Leading with over 1 million searches, Subway has suspended longtime spokesman Jared Fogle after police raided his home this week as a part of a child pornography investigation involving the former head of Fogle's nonprofit foundation. Many people are now wondering on social media, will Subway eventually sever their ties with Jared? If so, they have some big pants to fill. Also trending with over 500,000 searches, Disney's Hollywood Studios has removed their bronze Bill Cosby statue after newly released court documents revealed that Cosby admitted to getting drugs to give to a woman with whom he wanted to have relations with. People who signed the petition to get rid of the statue said it was the right thing to do. Cosby has not commented on the documents and has denied sexual assault allegations. And pop singer Ariana Grande has one more problem. California police are now investigating a video that appears to show Grande licking donuts that were on display in a donut shop and later yelling, "I hate America." Grande has recently apologized for her remarks. This had over 500,000 searches. I'm Successful Brim with West Trending this week on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Right. KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And let me say happy birthday to you.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you.
Woohoo.
Happy birthday, dear Tobin. Happy birthday to you.
Let the party begin.
Woohoo! It's Tobin's birthday. Here on KCAA. We are on the brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. So excited today. We have a great interview. This going to be starting here in just a couple of minutes. It is It is an interview with Doug Swanson. It's called Blood Aces, the wild ride of Benny Binion, the Texas gangster who created Vegas poker.
if this interview goes the way I expect, Karen, I think you and I are going to be doing a road trip to Vegas later
I
today.
know, right? It makes you want to go to Vegas.
All right.
Right.
So, good morning. We have Doug Swanson on the line.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi. So great to have you on the show. So quick, let me talk about your book just a little bit. This is from the New Yorker. They say in Vegas you can't understand the town unless you understand Benny Binion, mob boss, casino owner, and the creator of the World Series of Poker. Given access to previously classified government documents, biographer Doug Swanson provides the definitive account of a great American anti-hero, a man whose rise from thugdom to prominence and power makes him a most striking and singular character in the annals of American crime. So, what an exciting book.
Oh, well, thank you. And it was a lot of fun to write because he is a terrific character with a terrific story.
So, how did you pick him as your topic? Tell me about the process of getting started.
Well, Benny Binion started in Texas, and then so I had been hearing about him for a long time as a reporter in Texas. But I covered the World Series of Poker a couple of times in Las Vegas and got very interested in Binion that way. So I just wanted to tell the story of how this guy started out from a nothing little town in Texas and became a racketeer, and then started this little tiny poker tournament that became this giant exercise that you see today.
So you say you're a reporter in Texas. First of all, tell me his little town that he's from. I've never even heard of Pilot Grove. Where is that?
It's in North Texas. It's about 90 miles north of Dallas. It's not even there anymore. It's a collection of houses that mostly are empty. It burned down early in its life. One of the buildings got struck by lightning, and it burned down most of the town. And like a lot of little towns in Texas, it just sort of withered away. So there's not much there anymore.
Oh, that would be why I've never heard of it. I'm originally from Texas, so I have no idea where that is. So what have you learned about? What did you learn about Benny Binion? Who is he, or who was he?
Well, as I said, he started out in this little town, but he went off and learned to be a horse trader at a very young age, and then became a road gambler. He would go around from town to town with these roving bands of gamblers, and he learned how to do that, and then he became a bootlegger. In Dallas, he was a racketeer. He controlled all the gambling in Dallas, but he got kicked out of town in the late 1940s, and that's when he went to Las Vegas. He became part of this great wave of mobsters who went to Vegas in the late 40s and began forming the Las Vegas that you see today. But back in the late 1940s, there wasn't much there.
No, I have to give this great quote, and then Tobin wants to ask a question here. I love this. It starts out in your first chapter. We were all grifters in those days. We all we had was grift sense, and I think that speaks to how he kind of lived his life.
So,
absolutely.
So I'm a casual poker player, and obviously anyone who plays poker knows about the World Series of Poker. I didn't know that Binion had this sort of criminal past, though. I mean, the poker tournament seems so respectable and legit. I had
it was on ESPN.
Yeah, how does a guy go from being a criminal like that to being like this super respected guy with this great big tournament?
Well, that was part of his genius. I mean, Benny had people who were very loyal to him. In fact, he still has people who are loyal to him. I go around talking about the book to Vegas and around Texas and elsewhere, and I still meet people who love Benny Binion. And it's always been said that he was either your best friend or your worst enemy, because if you didn't love Benny, if you hated Benny, there's a good chance you wound up dead. Oh. He had a talent for eliminating his enemies and making lots of friends.
Now, he befriended and got acquainted with East Coast mobsters like Bugsy Siegel, Howard Hughes, and Whitey Bulger. Talk about that process. How did he do that?
Well, as I said, he was great at bringing people into his circle. He knew how to relate to people. The man could barely read or write. He couldn't do simple multiplication tables, but he really knew how to work people, and he would put his arms around them and persuade them to do whatever he wanted them to do. And if they didn't, they often wound up in a shallow grave somewhere. But with the mobsters, they respected each other. They didn't compete. Benny found his niche, which was the Horseshoe Casino there in Vegas, a gambling joint, and he didn't mess with other people's operations, and they didn't mess with him. I think they all respected each other.
So you mentioned that he would off the competition. In your book, do you actually identify some of the people that he killed, or is it just sort of speculation?
Well, he admitted to killing 2 people. He never served any time for that. One was a rival gambler, one was a rival bootlegger. But there are many bodies strewn in Binion's wake. Most people believe he had them killed. I don't believe he killed them himself, but he had a band of hitmen working for him, some of whom I talked to, who did the work for him.
Wow.
Well, and there's a picture, and there's wonderful pictures in your book. There's a picture here of the remains of Herbert Noble's car after an ill-advised trip to the mailbox. It doesn't even look like a car anymore, except for the kind of random bumper and tires.
Yeah, Herbert Noble was a Dallas gambler. He had a long-running feud with Benny Binion, and he survived 13 attempts to kill him with guns, bombs, knives.
Oh, my
They never tried poison, I don't think. But they finally blew him up outside his mailbox, got him on the 14th try. They put dynamite under his car, but his wife drove his car that morning, and they blew her up.
Oh!
It was a long-running tragicomic tale here in Dallas.
So he must have had all of the cops in his pocket to be able to do all of these things.
Oh, absolutely. That's how he controlled the situation. The cops were his friends. The most powerful man in the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, when Benny Binion was the top racketeer here, was Benny Binion's best friend. Can you imagine that in today's world?
Oh,
that's how he operated.
Apparently it worked for him.
Sure, it worked really well. Apparently.
So,
I mean, he was an extremely successful, wealthy man at the end of his life.
Now, talk to me, because the book also talks about his son, and his son had a more troubled path.
That's Ted Binion, yeah. There have been some movies and books written about him. Ted had a problem with strippers and heroin, which I'm told is a bad combination. I don't know that personally, but that's what I hear. And so Ted ended up being killed by both of those, and was a sad story. Now he has some other children than he did. He had 5 children, 3 of whom survive him, and Jack Binion, his other son, has been extremely successful in Las Vegas, and Brenda Binion, his daughter, cooperated with me on the book. She was very helpful, and she's a wonderful lady who lives out in Amarillo, Texas. So some of the kids had problems, and some have done quite well.
So. I'm so excited that you wrote this book. It's actually really fun, and it reads like a crime thriller more than a biography. I mean, I'm a fan of both, but it must have been fun to write.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I've written novels before. I've written 5 novels, and they were a struggle, but this was a delight. I was surprised at how much fun it was, because there were so many interesting people to talk to, and Benny was such a great character that I don't usually have fun writing, but I had a lot of fun doing this one.
So who was the most interesting character, or who were the most interesting characters that you talked to?
I think by far the most interesting was a retired hitman named R.D. Matthews, alleged hitman, I should say, who lived here in Dallas. He only had one eye because one of Herbert Noble's henchmen shot him in the head once.
Oh,
a very good eye.
And he's retired now. Actually, he's dead now. But when I talked to him, he was retired, and retired hitmen must have a pretty good pension plan, because he lived in a really nice house out in North Dallas, and we sat out by his pool and talked about the old days. Now, he wouldn't admit to any murders, but he talked a lot about Binion and what it was like back in the 1930s and 1940s in Dallas, and it was wild here back then. I know a lot of people think of Dallas as a button-down city, but it was crazy.
It was the wild, wild west.
Exactly. People having shootouts in broad daylight on downtown streets.
Wow.
As I said, blowing each other up, but they killed each other. That's the thing. The police didn't mess with them as long as they just killed each other.
Now, yeah, and you think about Dallas. Now I think of SMU and big, beautiful houses, and of course the television show Dallas.
Right. Well, it was much different back then, and probably a lot more interesting.
So I see your list of appearances as you're going out and signing books and that sort of thing. On September 4th, you're going to be, on October 17th, you're going to be at the Mob Museum in Las Vegas. I bet you're looking forward to that event.
Oh, that was last October. I've already done that. That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
We had a great crowd, and I don't know if you've been to the Ma Museum, but it's really worth the trip if you're ever in Vegas. Once the casinos take all your money, save a little bit, and go over to the Ma Museum, because it's really a tremendous place, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, that's
doing
wonderful.
That.
So let everybody. I know we're out of time. So let everybody know how they can find your book, or they can. Do you have a website or social media? Where can they follow you?
Well, it's out in paperback this week, so you can get the cheaper version. Obviously on Amazon or any of the other websites, but your independent bookstore would be a great place. That's it's out there.
Awesome.
So.
And your website is DougJSwanson.com.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'm so excited that you joined us today. Love your book, and when you write another one, let us know. We'd love to have you back.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron and Tobin. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So you are listening to On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 at 619, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
While we Americans celebrate the 100th anniversary of our National Park Service, America's so-called leaders are aggressively commercializing our parks, converting these jewels of the common good into just another corporate cash cow. This started with co-branding agreements, rationalized by NPS officials as, quote, aligning the economic and historical legacies of parks with advertisers. In other words, they're selling the Park Service's proud public brand as well as its soul. First in line was Coca-Cola. In 2010, the multi-billion-dollar colossus became a, quote, proud partner with NPS by making a mere $2.5 million tax-deductible donation. In return, Coke got exclusive rights to use park logos in its ads, and it also was allowed to veto an NPS plan to ban sales of bottled water in the Grand Canyon Park. Disposable plastic bottles are that park's biggest source of trash. But Coke owns the Dasani brand of water, so bye-bye ban. Public outrage forced officials to reverse this crass move, but NPS's integrity has yet to recover. Then, this April, the Park Service abandoned its policy of rejecting any ties to alcohol products when Anheuser-Busch also became a proud NPS partner by making a $2.5 million tax-deductible gift. In turn, its Budweiser brand was given the Statue of Liberty. Not literally, but symbolically. Bud now has the right to plaster Lady Liberty, the iconic symbol of the USA itself, on its cans. This is Jim Hightower saying, creeping commercialization of our public parks is no longer creeping, it's running rampant. For example, take a whiff of this. In return for becoming a proud partner, Airwick was authorized to market a new fragrance collection that it advertises as being, quote, uniquely inspired by America's national parks.
Hightower's commentary is brought to you by the Hightower Lowdown. From Wall Street to Washington, this monthly newsletter reveals who's doing what to whom and why. Check it out, hightowerlowdown.org.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, now in the IE.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Market Rob host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the wealth management solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And it is his birthday today, so I'm going to keep saying that. So happy birthday,
Yay.
happy birthday, happy birthday. So there is a story that's actually pretty scary out of Fontana. 2 Fontana mothers fight off alleged rapist attacking their daughters. 2 Fontana mothers stopped a would-be rapist from attacking their daughters. Fontana police say the suspect, identified as 38-year-old Brandon Watkins, first tried to attack a 5-year-old girl in her apartment in the 800 block of Mango at about 3:20 p.m. on Sunday. Watkins allegedly tried to trick her into opening the door by pretending to be Barney, a popular children's television character. So the mom heard, and when Pedroza stepped in to keep the door shut, she kept quiet, looked through the peephole in her door, and saw a man she didn't recognize. After about 5 minutes, he left and went to another side of the apartment complex where 20-year-old Ashley, who has autism, was taking out the trash. He put his right arm and pinned me to the door and tried to pull down my pants, and that's when my mom came out. Ashley's mother heard the daughter yelling for her. She was being held, so I had to grab her, and when he saw me, he let me go. I brought her in the house, said her mother, who called 911. Watkins allegedly continued to rap on the door, and she went outside and talked to him until the police arrived.
Wow.
So they got him.
Yeah.
They got him. So it's scary, but with a good ending.
Yeah.
So,
There's a picture of him here, and he looks like he's high or
I'm sure
something.
he was.
I mean, he didn't look right.
No, he doesn't. Something's off about this guy. First of all, he looks filthy.
Yeah.
And, just terrible. So we have a caller on the line. Hi, caller. Who is this?
This is your son, Alex Brinker, who is calling in to wish his dad a happy birthday.
Oh,
hey. How you doing, son?
Good. I'm at work right now. Just taking a moment to give you guys a call and just say that I love you.
Thank you.
You're in West Virginia, so our listeners know West Virginia.
We are listened to across the nation. Actually, we've got listeners in West Virginia and North Carolina. We call them family.
So yeah, I hope you have just a wonderful day, and
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear you.
Happy birthday, and that I love you.
I love you too. I was telling your mom we got a FaceTime later today. I want to look at your face.
So, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for calling in.
I love you, son. Thank you.
I love you both, and just have a wonderful day, both of you.
Okay. Wow.
So, yes, happy birthday to Tobin.
The kids grow up and they call.
They call, you know, that old adage, call your mother. Well, today it's call your father.
Yay.
So, another story that, you know, we've talked about this University of Virginia rape story, you know, from Rolling Stone.
From right when it
started.
Yeah.
So now 3 University of Virginia graduates and members of a fraternity profiled in a debunked account of a gang rape in Rolling Stone filed a lawsuit against the publication and the article's author today, court records show. The 3 men, George Elias IV, Stephen Hadford, and Ross Fowler, filed suit filed suit in the U.S. District Court in New York. They are also suing Rolling Stone's publisher, Wenner Media. A lawyer for the man said they suffered vicious and hurtful attacks because of inaccuracies in the November 2014 article, which was written by journalist Sabrina Rubin Erdely. In their lawsuit, the 2013 grads said the article created a simple and direct way to match the alleged attackers from the alleged gang rape to them based on details provided in the story. Upon release of the article, family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, and reporters easily matched Elias as one of the alleged attackers and, among other things, interrogated him, humiliated him, and scolded him, the lawsuit said, adding that Hartford and Fowler suffered similar attacks. The men are suing on 3 counts, including defamation and negligent infliction of emotional distress. They are asking for at least $75,000 for each count, and I honestly think they have a good case, especially since Rolling Stone didn't fire Sabrina Rubin Erdely.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They just said we'll give you a slap on the wrist and let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, this to me, I'm not an attorney, looks like defamation clearly.
And there was gross negligence in the researching and writing of this particular article. I mean, she did no fact-checking at all, apparently.
No, she didn't make a single phone call, it appears.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there was intent here. I mean, this is, these poor guys were railroaded.
Well, but it reminds me, we had John Ronson on, So You've Been Publicly Shamed, was the book that he wrote, and we've talked to several people who, or we haven't talked to them. We've read about several people who this has happened to, where somebody takes something on the internet and they run with it. In this case, it was a magazine, but you think about what's just happened with the hunter who went out and killed the big lion, and the internet loses its mind, and really this kind of information can ruin your life.
It can, and these guys, I think, have got a good case to say that they were harmed, and I think that's ultimately the key fact. It's not just that your name was put out there and something negative was said. You have to show that you were harmed. I think today it's easy to show that you were harmed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, gosh, just Google yourself.
Yeah. I mean, when you can put thousands of death threats that suddenly show up on your feed and, all those kinds of things. I mean, that's emotional distress. Who wouldn't be freaking out if you've got, people that you've never met sending you horrible threats?
Right. They know where your office is. They know where they might know where your home is. They have pictures of you and your family. They, and so I go for it. Nail them to the wall as far as I'm concerned.
The publisher could have helped himself had he fired Sabrina and said, okay, we take the blame and here's the action we're taking. But as such, it's like he's saying, hey, we assume no responsibility.
Yeah. Well,
too bad, so sad.
Hold them responsible in a court of law.
Exactly. Well, I think, Rolling Stone used to be a decent magazine many, many years ago, and now it's really not. I don't find their articles are well written. I literally have zero interest in reading Rolling Stone.
They stopped trying.
They did. They did. They're stuck in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, they do the ratings of the top bands. They're always these bands from 30, 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, and they're over.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So it's time for a break. It is 6:31. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
California headline news. Tragedy overnight in the community of Highland near L.A. Shots fired near a home there. A bullet strikes and kills a young child who was playing with stuffed animals. The suspect still at large. 2 young children still hospitalized after a pine tree toppled onto them outside a children's museum in Pasadena Tuesday.
Authorities are left studying the health of the tree and others in the park. Also, the first thing that our tree expert looked at was the canopy of the tree. She showed us needles that were very green, saying that's a sign of a healthy tree.
Correspondent Kana Whitworth, a 15-year-old arrested in the death of 8-year-old Madison Middleton in Santa Cruz, will be charged with murder as an adult, the DA promising no plea deal.
We have charged this individual as an adult with the crimes for which he is responsible. We're going to bring him to justice, and at this point, there's no plea deal on anything.
Fast-moving fire in Lake County forcing hundreds from their homes. Geico weather, more rain in parts of Southern California, slightly cooler in the Bay Area, triple-digit heat in Bakersfield and Sacramento. Jeff Scott, California News.
I'm Jay Farner with some great news on how you could save an average of $3,000 per year on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. The HARP guidelines have changed. There's less paperwork and often no appraisal required. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN. Or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, a flash flood watch is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. We've got a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny skies on a high near 94. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 70. Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny skies, a high near 94. Friday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, patchy fog, partly cloudy skies, a low near 69. Saturday, patchy fog in the morning, mostly sunny skies, a high near 94. Saturday night, partly cloudy, a low near 69. Sunny on Sunday with a high near 94. Sunday night, partly cloudy, a low near 70. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050 KCAA.
It's time for some Dilly-licious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best Dilly-licious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all Dilly-licious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dilly-licious sub sandwich, or simply Dilly-lightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
Hey man, what are you doing?
I'm watering my lawn.
Don't you know you can't water your lawn in the middle of the afternoon? Uh-oh, you're in big trouble. Here comes the water police.
Well, what do I do now?
Tune into the Water Zone show on KCAA Radio Thursday nights at 6 p.m. They'll help you out.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And it's his birthday. You're listening to On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We have a caller on the line. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
This sounds like my
Happy
dad.
birthday!
And my mom. Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, it's part of your national audience.
That's right.
It had been 2 days earlier. I'd have called you from Portugal. You'd have had an international caller.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, were you able to listen to us internationally, Dad? Or were you too busy? I know he was traveling all over Portugal and having fun, so.
Yes, he was having a good time.
He wasn't thinking about you, Tobin.
Right, or me.
Wow, I'm so happy you guys called.
Yeah, well, we wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank
Since
you.
your car's going to be late.
That's the Brinker way.
That's the Brinker standard.
I know.
Yeah.
It's coming. You may get it tomorrow or the next day.
No
By
problem.
the way, you did have an international listener because you come in at 2 o'clock over there. 2 p.m.
2 p.m., middle of the day. Middle of the day in
Yeah.
Portugal. Okay.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, both of you all, for calling.
Well, we're glad to call and love to talk to you all and listen to you. And after you sang "Happy Birthday," I wasn't going to because you just knocked it out of the park.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
If you have a funny story to tell about my childhood, now would be your chance, Dad, to just get it out there.
Just embarrass him.
This is your opportunity.
Well, let's see. I know some that you might not want to put on the radio. I don't think.
Nothing from my college years, please.
Oh, your college years. No, I was thinking that when you were a little kiddo. Oh, but
Well, anyway, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Best I can love you.
Yeah.
We love you, son.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you. I love you both too. And we'll be hanging out with Todd Elaine this afternoon since
that'll be fun.
since the rest
We'll
of the family
enjoy.
has moved to the East Coast. So
Yep.
Okay, we'll talk to you again later.
okay, thank you guys. Bye bye.
So that was Tobin's parents, if you couldn't tell. We have family calling in today to celebrate Tobin's birthday. He's 29 today.
29 times, not times, plus 20. No, not
No,
plus,
you're
plus
not
18.
Don't age yourself any faster than you have to.
I'm not a math teacher. I teach history.
All right, so on to the next story. Did you hear about these boys that were sunburned? And I didn't say good morning to Bill this morning. Bill, how you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you alive? Alive?
I am. You know,
alert?
it's funny. Your previous guest talking about Vegas mentioned the Mob Museum. I remember working there in the early '80s, and they were kind of sensitive about that. A radio station I worked for was going album rock, and they wanted to change their name to the Mob, KMOB. Station
That's
management.
a great name.
Yes, station management got a call saying, "We don't think that'd be such a good idea." Yes, sir, you're absolutely right. We will become Comp FM.
There you go.
And that's what happened. It's like they did not
that
like
was
the Mob.
from the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
They did not like the Mob reference at that time
at
all.
Wow.
So somebody woke up with a horse head in their bed that morning, I'm guessing.
Yes, all ended happily.
Wow.
So, well, this book is really fun. Everybody should read it. And for those of you who are just tuning in, we interviewed Doug Swanson. He's the author of Blood Aces: The Wild Ride of Benny Binion, the Texas gangster who created Vegas Poster.
Poker.
Poker. You know, it is early this morning, and my mouth is not working. Poker. All right. So, did you hear about these boys that went to a water park with their daycare and
I did
ended
not.
up in the hospital?
I did not. I did not hear about this one. So tell us, Aaron.
Okay,
what
so
happened?
a Northeast Oklahoma daycare shut its doors yesterday after a mother reported her 2 young sons were severely sunburned during an outing to a water park. Happiness is a learning center daycare in Veneta, Oklahoma, agreed to cease operations while the State Department of Human Services and police investigate, says a DHS spokeswoman, Deborah Martin. They're trying to determine exactly what happened, who was involved, and whether or not compliance issues were broken, Martin says. Shauna Broadway tells KOTV that a daycare worker let her 5- and 7-year-old sons play outside Friday without shirts or sunscreen. Photos show the boys' back and shoulders covered with giant blisters. Whether it was intentional or not intentional, they were supposed to take care of them, and they did not, and that's the bottom line. I'm a single parent, and I do all I can, Broadway tells the station. I work Monday through Friday, and they have to go to daycare. Broadway says she initially took her boys to a Tulsa hospital, but because of the severity of the burns, they were flown to a children's facility in Texas.
Wow.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for the boys. It was originally yanked because a photo of the burns was deemed too graphic, a relative tells The Blaze. The page says Connor suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns, while Trey's were 2nd degree. Meanwhile, a review of Oklahoma DHS records shows the facility has been cited 19 times since September 30th, mostly violations connected to staffing and signage. Martin said there are no plans for the daycare to reopen.
That is horrific. That is horrific. I mean, you ran a home daycare.
I did.
And we've got several friends who've done that. And, you know, you really have to be on your game when you're dealing with little kids.
Well, and you can't just say, well, Mom didn't pack any. Get some sunscreen, and then tell Mom to bring you a tube when she goes to the store the next time.
Yeah.
You cover the kids.
Yeah, there's just no way that you let that happen.
No.
I mean, any kind of person who's marginally aware of what's happening to kids, as soon as they start to pink up, you're going to pull them out and put some sunscreen on them.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, even before because I used to take the kids swimming, the little ones. We had a little paddling pool. You know, the little because the kids were all very little.
Yeah.
And so I put them all. I put them all in there. But before we went out, every single one of those kids got lathered up.
Yep.
Even if they were tanner than some of the others, everybody got lathered up because the sun can be dangerous.
Yep.
And then we didn't have to worry about it. Put little hats on them and let's go.
Well, you're more aware of it now. I can remember Balboa Beach back in the 60s. Hey, we put baby oil all over.
That was a different time.
Yeah.
And that was when you were a teenager.
Yes, the darker the better, even though you're fair-skinned.
But did you get 3rd-degree burns, though?
I will say sheets of skin peeled off.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, these are little kids. I mean, just the pictures here are just horrific. I mean, I'm getting the shivers.
Yeah, I'm just gobsmacked that this happened. It just shows an absolute unbelievable lack of judgment on behalf of the owner of this daycare.
Oh, I'm glad the daycare closed down.
I mean,
that's if they were to reopen. I mean, and we talk about like how the internet wants to focus in on people. This is one of those ones where people would go at this person.
Yes, if a lion hadn't just been killed, they probably were getting a lot more heat.
Yeah.
So they're thanking that dentist right now.
Wow.
So yeah, that's and like I said, I ran a daycare when we had 2 kids in 2 kids in 2 years, and we in 20 months, and so we decided that I needed to stay home and take care of the kids, and I watched some kids. I went through the process of licensing, got a licensed daycare, and I was absolutely vigilant about making sure that their needs were taken care of. And did I spend a lot of time changing diapers? Yep. Yeah. Did I spend a lot of time in the evenings and in the early mornings mopping floors and making sure everything was clean? You bet. But that's what it took.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the biggest trauma you had to worry about or deal with was diaper rash, though. You never had the big sunburn.
No. Again, I slathered the kids up before we went outside.
Yep.
And honestly, we wanted them outside in the paddling pool because they'd come out. I bring them in because this is what we do. We'd have our breakfast because we had breakfast there, and we play and we do reading time and that sort of thing. And then they'd get a snack, and then everybody would get changed, their diapers would get changed, and everybody get lathered up. And in the morning, then we would take them out in the pool, and they'd play, come back in, eat lunch, and they were exhausted. Popped them in for a nap. Happy kids, happy me, because they're all sleeping and happy. It worked.
Yeah.
And that was in the summer, obviously.
Yeah. Wintertime, you don't put them in the pool.
No, probably not. No. So it's time for another break. It's 6:45. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
What should have been waffles is eaten for breakfast. It's the Onion Radio News. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Area man Dan Gooderman plowed unenthusiastically through a bowl of oatmeal with cream and raisins today, fully aware that he could have been eating golden butter-soaked waffles instead. Gooderman later admitted to reporters that ever since his waffle maker broke down last summer, he has approached breakfast with sad resignation.
Breakfast really isn't the same unless there's a waffle in there somewhere.
Gooderman only recently resumed eating lunch after forgetting to purchase sandwich bread for a record 67 consecutive weeks. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
From the KCAA Community Calendar, I'm Mark Westwood. Everyone's talking about the Third Thursdays in San Bernardino. Rediscover the city of San Bernardino Third Thursday Food Truck Fest. Switch up your lunchtime routine. Try the gourmet food trucks every third Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Court Street parking lot between E and D Streets in downtown San Bernardino. Enjoy delicious, tasty food from the food trucks such as the Slam and Sliders food truck, Farmer's Belly, the Bacon Mania truck, Piaggio on Wheels, or the Greasy Wiener. All kinds of mouth-watering delights, hot off the truck, and plenty to eat. Put an end to dull, boring fast food and truck on over to City Hall in San Bernardino for the Third Thursday Food Truck Fest in downtown San Bernardino. For more info, check out Rediscover San Bernardino's Facebook page at facebook.com/SB Third Thursdays. That's SBTHIRD Thursdays. That's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
It's his birthday today. We are on the brink on the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. How you feeling on your birthday?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling the warmth and the love and all of that?
I am feeling the love.
Good.
And excited about the whole day. Just I've been kind of back at work, but today I'm taking the day, so it's nice just to have a day off. And yeah.
And we're going to, providing it's not raining, we're going to a 66ers game tonight.
That's right. In fact, the 66ers are supposed to have Jared Weaver from the Angels as their pitcher tonight. He's rehabbing, and I would love to see him pitch. So I'm hoping that the weather's good for us and we can go see the game.
I agree.
There's a storm coming.
We have a special caller on the line. Welcome, caller.
Good morning. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my sweet brother. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my gosh.
Some more East Coast Brinkers calling in.
That's my goofy baby sister. I love her.
I did that on air. You must be pretty special for me to let everybody be graced with my singing.
You sang on a national radio show, Reagan. Haley, my God.
Reagan's your daughter.
Yes.
Haley's your sister.
I know. And you know,
confused in your old age, aren't you?
I do get confused, and I just have to put this out here because my wife is younger than my baby sister, so I am a bit of a cradle robber.
Oh, come on,
my
Tobin.
wife is very young.
By a whole month.
By a whole month.
Wow, how are you doing, sis?
I'm doing. My husband's beeping in. I'm doing great.
Well, thank you so much for calling. Oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I have to call on your birthday and sing to you. I just don't normally do it on a radio show.
So I have to ask, do you have any stories that you want to share with our listening audience about Tobin growing up?
One of my favorite stories happened in high school. He and I decided to cut my hair short. So people used to think we were twins. And in high school, we had something called powder puff football, where the boys dressed up as cheerleaders and the girls got in jerseys and played football. And, of course, Tobin was involved in everything. And so we got him all gussied up in a cheerleading outfit, and I put some makeup on him and kind of did what I could with his hair. And, by golly, he looked just like me.
We were twins that day.
I don't know how I felt about that. If perhaps he even looked better than me. It was just one of those very weird things. But never forget it.
I think there's a yearbook picture of that, isn't there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Haley, thank you so much for calling in.
Absolutely. You guys have a great day.
You
Thank
too.
You.
Now people are going to be scouring yearbook pictures looking for you.
Looking for me as a cheerleader.
As a cheerleader. You know, I Powder Puff football was one of the most fun traditions that are done. I don't know if I think schools still do them. That when we were kids,
we had a blast doing Powder Puff cheerleading that year for the football. The guys, we practiced for like a week or two in advance, so we had a couple cheers that we could do pretty good. The girls that were actual cheerleaders helped us out. The challenge we had was that all the girls on our cheerleading squad were like these, really thin girls, and we had to borrow their cheerleading outfits. And I was a pretty skinny guy, so I could fit. But some of the, sort of average, normal-sized guys that weren't so thin, man, we were struggling to fit into those little skirts in their outfits. It was like, my goodness.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to go buy one. The cheerleading outfits are expensive.
They're expensive, right?
So
you can buy them at costume shops, but
So if you were a guy that was at all big, beefy, you couldn't do the Powder Puff cheerleading because there were no girls that you could borrow a uniform from because they were all skinny little nothings. So anyway,
sorry, I have to cough.
That's okay. Speaking of clothing, we have a story about an employee who was sent home for her shorts errand. They were too revealing.
So this was in JCPenney. Yeah, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, this young lady, her boss, she's calling him a hypocrite because of the women's dress code and the way she was treated. But she actually bought her shorts there at JCPenney in their business section or their career section. And she's posted pictures of her in these shorts. And it's a cute little outfit. She doesn't look, this is not something that you'd go like, oh my gosh, that's so scandalous. But her boss sent her home. And so she quit the job and posted some, maybe some inappropriate pictures. She's kind of flipping them off in one. But I totally understand where she's coming from.
See, I'm gonna say the opposite. They have a printed dress code, and just because something is sold at your store doesn't mean that you could put it on your body. There's different organizations will have different career wear. This actually, it's cute, but if she was the manager at a small amusement park like a Scandia or a Fiesta Village or something like that, this is totally appropriate. It is, I wouldn't even call it business casual. It is cute, but it is very casual. The shorts are a good 3 or 4 inches above the knee. It's a little sleeveless top. And so, yeah, I just think it's not appropriate. Well, and the dress code is given, so she should have known better.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking that if she had her little employee name Bat John, she would have looked just fine, and I would have had no problem feeling like, I don't know. I don't think it would have been a misrepresentation or bad representation of her employer. But
yep.
That's just me.
So we have another caller on the line. Welcome, caller.
Hi. This is Reagan.
Reagan.
Are you awake?
Yes, I am.
Wow. I'm so sorry. You were out so late last night, so...
I love you too, Dad. Happy birthday.
Hey, if you have teenage kids, you got to give them a little bit of grief when they stay out, past their, curfew on a weeknight. So
she's like, whatever, Dad.
Whatever. So, Reagan, I love you so much, and I can't wait till when I get home in a few minutes and we can all go out for breakfast.
I should get ready. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So your family loves you.
My family loves me.
Your family loves you, including me.
Yay.
So
you sure they don't love you because you're buying breakfast?
Bill's like, can I be a family?
I think Aaron's paying this time.
Oh, really?
Well, that was news to Aaron, wasn't it?
We have a joint checking account, so we're both paying.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have time for another quick story. Tobin, you want to talk about the Law and Order director?
Yeah, this one just really jumped out at me. Ripped from the headlines, right? That's Law and Order. A director for Law & Order, a guy by the name of Jace Alexander, worked on Law & Order over the course of 11 years, and he's now getting a first-hand taste of, and of course this is their tagline at the beginning, the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. This is Alexander's story.
Dun.
Yeah. According to Westchester County District Attorney's Office. In a press release, the investigation into the Dobbs Ferry, New York man began 5 days ago when an investigator downloaded child porn from an IP address that was traced back to Alexander's home. Alexander is accused of possessing and file sharing illegal and obscene performances of sexual conduct by children less than 17 years of age, and was today charged with 2 felony counts, including promoting sexual performance by a child and possessing an obscene sexual performance by a child. He faces up to 7 years if convicted. This guy is a married father of 3. He has 32 Law & Order episodes that he directed between 1994 and 2005, and it's just disgusting. This is a show, especially SVU, which really focuses on crimes against children.
Well, and sex crimes.
And, this guy should know better. I mean, and it just wow,
Yeah, it makes me wonder how long he's been doing this. Probably his whole life, and the man's 49 years old, right?
Yeah, well, and he works in an industry where film and all this. I mean, and he's caught doing stuff with film. I mean, so this guy is he's scum.
He's scum. Oh, actually, it doesn't say his age, but yeah, he is scum. How many times has he been doing this? What if has he ever acted on his desires? And it's just really not okay.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be out at the check if it's not raining, go out to the 66ers game tonight. It should be really fun, and Tobin and I are going to be there. And they have bacon wrapped hot dogs and cold beer, and so. Tobin's
and kettle corn. I love my kettle
corn. I like the peanuts.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us today. It's 6:59. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050. Have a great day, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are poised to open slightly lower this morning. The U.S. economy picked up modestly in the second quarter after a slow start to the year, but the 2.3% increase in GDP was still slightly below expectations. Weekly jobless claims rose from its lowest level in 4 decades. The Labor Department says first-time applications were up last week by 12,000 to 267,000. T-Mobile adding more than 2 million subscribers in its second quarter and helping it to a better-than-expected revenue of $8.2 billion. Procter & Gamble was a beat on profit but missed on revenue. And a new survey of executives worldwide finds nearly 2/3 of companies face significant cyber attacks on a daily or weekly basis. The report by Accenture shows less than 9% of executives polled said their companies test their systems on a regular basis.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station for the Inland Empire.
Good morning, it's 7:02. Here's a quick check of traffic and weather. We've got something called a monsoonal flow, bringing possible thunderstorms and flash flooding. LA and Orange counties, they're going to hit highs in the upper 80s. Valleys in the IE are going to be in the 90s, kind of sticky at that. Beaches are going to be in the upper 70s. Currently, it's already 78 at KCAA. Looking at your morning drive, it looks like we've still got road construction at Desert Center. That's I-10 eastbound between Eagle Mountain Road and the 177. In Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the 91. That's between McKinley Street and Green River Road. This traffic and weather report has been brought to you by the Ad Council. Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
When Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefooting. In the sun barefooting. Flow rider barefooting. Wet and wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet and Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet and Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet and Wild.
Slipping, sliding barefooting. Getting soaked barefooting. Wet and Wild barefooting.
Wet and Wild.
Barefooting. Wet and Wild barefooting.
Wet and Wild. Park open daily.
Kcaa. He has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
And welcome to the Thursday morning. It is July the 30th. It's the live edition of the Best Stocks Now radio hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. Well, we take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. That's the way it's been this year in the market. We just can't make a whole lot of headway, can we? The market's about flat on the year. And we've had a couple of good days in a row, and now we're getting a down day. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now down to 104 points. That works out to 0.6%. The Dow is at 17,647. Oh, now we're down 79, so we just had a 25-point move since we opened the show. Hey, maybe by the time we're done, will be flat. The S&P 500 is down about 9.7 right now. That puts it at 2,098. It's down 0.46% today. The NASDAQ down about 0.5%, down 28. 5,083. Crude oil up a little bit. Boy, that's been a while since we've seen an update in crude. 48.81. Boy, we were looking at Anadarko's earnings report yesterday. Their sales down 40% since last year. Well, when the price of what you sell goes down by as much as it has, that's the bottom line results. Gold, 1,084. Gold looks to me like it's headed below 1,000. We'll see. It's at 1,084, down 0.8%. A European vacation, a little cheaper today. 1.0925 is where the euro is at, and the 10-year yield is hanging out in the 2.27 neighborhood right now. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now radio hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. And this has been one of those years where we try to get a rally going, get a couple of good days, get a couple of days in the green, and then we get a day in the red that kind of takes away what momentum was building. It's hard to get a good head of steam going here in the market right now. We are now in the second half of the year. In fact, almost 1 month gone now in the second half of the year. We are in the heart of earnings season. I have so many notes written down here on my booklet, on my note sheet, that I could be lucky if we get to them all, because they're coming in fast and furious right now. The biggest number today would be GDP, gross domestic product. That's all of us together, pushing and huffing and going to work every day and putting in overtime, whatever it takes to get the job done. And how much did the economy grow by in the most recent quarter? 2.3%, which was below expectations of 2.6%. But the economy is still growing. It's not going backwards. It's not going negative. We did have a negative print in the first quarter of this year, due to all kinds of reasons, many of them weather-related, but we are moving along in a positive direction, and that's one more brick in the wall that would lead me to believe that this bull market can continue, even though it's been on pause. Just like, remember the old cassette players, you push the pause button? Let's get play going again. Let's get fast forward going again in the market, which I think can happen. I still like the earnings projections for the rest of the year and into 2016. Over the last 3 years, GDP has been averaging about 1.5%. Very slow, very tepid, a very slow recovery, but a recovery nonetheless, and it has been pretty good for the stock market. Jobless claims come in at 272,000. That's still low. Anything under 300 is considered good. The jobs market still looks pretty good. ETFs, I thought I'd bring this up. $18.2 trillion now in ETFs. Wow. I just think that there's a general move in my business towards mediocrity. ETFs, you're kind of saying, I can't pick stocks, so I'm just going to buy the whole sector. It's like buying a bag of baseball cards. There's a few good ones in there, but most of them are clunkers. That's just the way I look at it. Meanwhile, lots of companies reporting earnings here. Let's begin. T-Mobile beats earnings. T-Mobile up a little bit here. Bank of the Internet, BoFi, a stock that I own in my aggressive growth accounts, they beat earnings by 26 cents. And that stock's getting a nice bounce here today. It's actually a San Diego company. We have LifeLock missing earnings. After the big breach of data from all of the government employees, they offered everybody a free subscription to LifeLock. Since the LifeLock stock has just been absolutely killed. It was a stock that I owned at one point in time. I don't own it anymore. Now they're under investigation. Not very many good things happening at LifeLock right now. Budweiser misses, which is Anheuser-Busch InBev, which is no longer a St. Louis company. It's now a Belgium company, but I've been back to St. Louis and seen the big plants, the big brick plants where Budweiser reigns, where Budweiser is still the king of beers. The stock getting hit today as they do not beat. In fact, they miss earnings estimates. Let's see, what else do we have? Noble Energy, NE, they beat by 11 cents. Meanwhile, Concho Energy They beat. I think it's the case where these energy stocks, the estimates and the expectations are so low, lower than a snake belly in a wagon rut. Well, you're getting some companies that are beating those just trashed expectations. Ensco's doing the same thing in the oil and gas equipment business. They beat by 13 cents, but you're seeing a pattern here. Notice the pattern. Most companies continue to beat. Mondelez, isn't that like Velveeta cheese and things? How did they come up with Mondelez? Hey, that stock's breaking out to the upside big time today. Mondelez beats earnings. That's a $72 billion company. There's a bellwether if there ever was one. Atwood Oceanics in the oil and gas business also. They beat by 7 cents, but look at that chart. Ugh, that's horrible. I'm glad I don't have any exposure to the energy patch. Whiting Petroleum cuts capital spending, their capital spending budget. They were a major player in the Bakken up in North Dakota, one of the biggest oil finds of all time. Whiting Petroleum was a $92 stock last year. This year it's a $21 stock. Ouch. Well, the Saudis said, we want to drive the frackers out of business so we don't lose any of the market share to them, and it looks like they've been pretty successful at doing that. CoStar beats by 65 cents. I own CoStar in my moderate risk profile. They're a company that provides real estate information to brokers and property owners and developers, etc. What else do we have? Monster Energy beats by 2 cents. Well, you got to have some Monster Energy to get through the day. This is the old Hanson's Natural that sold organic juices. And now they're selling high-power juice to high school kids to get them bouncing off the walls. Monster Energy is now a $31 billion company, and it's a stock that I own in my conservative growth account. They come in and beat. McKesson, a generic drug company, distributor, they beat by 23 cents, but I see the stock not performing very well today. I don't like that. Western Digital, they beat by 6 cents. They're exploding to the upside today. Boy, I haven't owned a disk drive maker in a long time, but Western Digital having a good day today. Equinix, I featured that stock yesterday, and I said, uh-oh, they're reporting earnings tonight. Watch them miss. Well, they beat, and the stock's hitting new all-time highs today. Hey, once in a while, even a broken clock is right twice a day, you say. Procter & Gamble, they beat by 5 cents. Well, I have not liked Procter & Gamble. This is a stodgy old stock of yesteryear, not a stock that's flourishing in today's market by any means. They beat, but the stock is sagging. And the biggest report of the day, Skechers. My son says, Dad, nobody wears Skechers anymore. He told me that like a year ago. The stock has just exploded to the upside, one of the biggest winners in the entire market. Every day I remind him. When I see him in the hall, I tell him, son, nobody wears Skechers anymore. I rub it in a little. Well, I've made plenty of mistakes too, so hey, we'll be right back. This is the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour.
Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
What are the leading asset classes in the market right now? Stocks, bonds, cash, gold?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the leading indexes in the world currently? U.S., Europe, Japan, South America, emerging markets?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best sectors in the market now? Energy, technology, retail, financials, healthcare?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best stocks in the market now from a valuation, relative performance, and technical perspective? Exxon, Celgene, Apple, Delta, just to name a few.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app database currently has over 4,000 stocks, indexes, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds to choose from. What are the best ones now?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app was invented by Bill Gunderson and Douglas Apperly. Bill Gunderson is the president of Gunderson Capital Management. In addition to the PC version, the Best Stocks Now app is also available on Apple and Android platforms.
BestStocksNowApp.com. Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter gave a buy signal on the market on March 27, 2009. That was just 18 days after the S&P 500 had finally hit bottom at 666. The buy signal has been in place ever since. How valuable was that call in the weekly newsletter to investors? The market has more than doubled since then. While market pundits were clamoring about a collapsing dollar, runaway inflation, and soaring gold prices, Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter told investors that stocks were the best place to be. Bill Gunderson is not a permabull, however. At some point in the future, the newsletter will give a sell signal. Investors, be warned. The last bear market took 53% out of the S&P 500. Why not sign up for a free 4-week trial to Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter? You can do so by visiting his website at pwstreet.com. Again, that's pwstreet.com. There are a lot of investors out there in today's world that enjoy managing their own money. There's nothing wrong with this, but maybe you should manage a small portion of your overall portfolio and let a professional money manager manage your serious money. Just like you don't learn how to be an accomplished golfer by spending a few hours on the golf course or at the driving range on the weekends, it takes years of experience to even begin to understand how the financial markets work. And even then, it still takes hours and hours every day to stay on top of an ever-changing marketplace. There are numerous pitfalls that can stand in the way of the part-time investor. If a constant barrage of contradictory opinions keeps you from being able to make sound decisions, if you have a hard time keeping your emotions in check, or if you're continually selling at the bottom and buying at the top, then maybe it's time to consider a full-time professional money manager. Give the folks at Gunderson Capital Management a call and let Bill Gunderson manage your money. You can reach them at 855-611-BEST. That's 855-611-BEST or pwstreet.com.
This is KCAA.
And welcome back here to the second quarter of the Best Stocks Now radio hour. Well, if you don't already know, I write a lot of articles, too, in my spare time. I usually put out at least one per week. We've got one that we've submitted to several sites here today. We'll see. It's my macro picture on the market. I'm sure it's going to show up at least in 2 or 3 sites. But one of the stocks that I've written about a couple of times is one in my backyard. No, that didn't influence me at all. I don't know anybody there at the bank, but the bank has been one of the top performing bank stocks in the entire sector. Now, here's some good things going on right now. Number one, I still like the stock market. Okay, this happens to be a stock. It's an equity. It's not a bond. I'm not lending this company money. I'm buying a piece of the action. Number two, it's in the U.S. markets, which are still the leading index in the world, leading indexes in the world, whether it's the Russell 2000, the NASDAQ, the S&P 400 mid-cap index, or the S&P 500. These are still the leading indexes in the world. Number three, the banking sector is one of the hottest sectors in the entire market. They like a rising interest rate environment. Well, Bill, we don't have a rising interest rate environment. Yes, we do. We were at 1.6 not too long ago on the 10-year U.S. Treasury, and now we're at 2.27. We've been as high as 2.47. And the Fed is backed into a corner. They have nowhere to go but up. And even though they didn't say anything new at this latest Fed meeting about raising interest rates, there will come a point in time when they start raising, and we are now in a rising interest rate environment, which a lot of sectors in the market do not like. Debt investments absolutely hate a rising interest rate environment, but the banks like a rising interest rate environment. There's a little more wiggle room in there than when interest rates are at rock bottom. Bank of the Internet, which I've written a couple articles. You can Google my name, Bill Gunderson, and BOFI, B-O-F-I, Bank of Internet. BOFI Holdings is a holding company for BOFI Federal Bank, operating primarily through the Internet and from one office in San Diego, California. Now, there you go. I mean, there's the future, right? How many stores does Amazon have at the mall? I don't know if there is an Amazon store. Maybe they ought to have like a flagship store back in Times Square, Amazon.com, the store. I guess that would go against their what they're all about. I don't know. BOFI has one office. I don't know where it is. Most people nowadays are doing things on the Internet, aren't they? You know, I hate to say it, but I kind of avoid when I go to the grocery store. I go through the self-checkout line. I love to scan the items and hear the thing go beep. I hate to see my bill in the end. I don't know. I just kind of avoid the checkers and everything. It just seems like people are getting grouchier these days. The other day, we decided to go fishing in fact, a week ago today, after I got done with the show, and we go over, we park in the marina. I forgot my green hang tag to hang on my mirror to let the staff at the dock office know that I'm a slip owner. Well, they know me over there. And I called them and I said, hey, I'm going fishing. We're putting in a couple of new batteries. We got a late start. We forgot our green hang tag. Can we park here today? In boat owners parking, you know I'm who I am. I say hi to you all the time. No. Without a green hang tag, we'll have your car towed. Okay. Is that the kind of service that Marriott gives? I keep my boat at the Marriott Marina. Until I get an apology, I am not going to stay at a Marriott hotel if my life depended upon it. Poor service. Just terrible. So that's why I avoid people, if at all possible. I don't know what happens. Some of these offices get a culture where everybody's grouchy. And they have a can't-do attitude. No, you can't do that. No, that's not the way we are. We're happy here at Gunderson Capital Management. Anyways, I do all my banking online. I scan my checks and deposit them. I take a picture of my checks on my iPhone and deposit them. I do everything. I pay all my bills from my iPhone. It's wonderful. Well, Bank of the Internet is one of the most successful banking stocks in the entire market. Over the last 10 years, it's been moving along at a clip of 28% per year. Okay, compare that to J.P. Morgan or Citigroup or Wells Fargo or one of the other big banks with branches all over America with lots of overhead. Their stocks have not averaged 28% per year. Over the last 5 years, BOFI, which, by the way, is only a $1.7 billion company. This is a small cap. So if you're an aggressive growth investor, I have about a 2.5% position, maybe 3% position in this stock in my aggressive growth accounts. Over the last 3 years, this stock has been moving up at a rate of 77% per year, while the market's been going at 15%. And over the last 12 months, it's up 52%, while the market's up 7%. Do you realize that this is one of the top performing stocks in the entire market? Take that, Silicon Valley. Take that, biotech world, biotech sector. This stock gets a performance grade of A+. Well, you say, let's hear your valuation on the shares. This is a momentum darling that everybody's piling into. Not really. Forward PE ratio of 16.8, which is a little bit higher than the average bank stock. But then again, they don't have all of these stores that they've got to pay rent on, all of these lights to pay electricity on, all of these employees that they got to pay employee benefits on. They have one branch. The rest is on the internet. It's a pretty good model. I have a $178 target price on the shares, currently trading at $116. This was a $3 stock in 2009. Today it's a $116 stock. See, Gunderson Capital Management is not the only great company in San Diego. We've also got Bank of the Internet, doggone it, BOFI Holding. Now, let's see. When we combine the performance and we combine the valuation and we take a look at the technical pattern, Bank of the Internet out of 4,140 different stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, and my database comes in at number 197. Not a recommendation, but it's an example of a best stock now, and by full disclosure, it's also a stock that we own here at Gunderson Capital Management. Stay away from those grouchy branch offices, let me tell you. It can ruin your day. We'll be right back.
Kcaa.
California headline news: Lake County, the scene of the latest fire threatening structures in the state, prompting evacuations after breaking out Wednesday afternoon and quickly spreading.
We have over 200 firefighters currently working this fire. We have 6 air tankers, 19 engines, water tenders, bulldozers, and we have additional resources called to this fire.
Cal Fire's Susie Blankenship. About 200 people still out of their homes as the fire continues to burn near Lake Berryessa. Cal Fire officials say the rag fire is now 80% contained. Officials in Santa Barbara investigating what appears to be another oil spill off the coast. This kayaker encountering the oil and reporting it to authorities.
As soon as we got past the buoys here, we started seeing like a gasoline sheen everywhere, and then it started getting little droplets of oil.
The waters around Goleta Beach have been closed to swimmers, boaters, and fishers. Geico weather, more hot and dry weather in the forecast. A heat wave continuing to roast the northern portion of the state. Strong high-pressure ridge over the region, bringing a return of triple-digit heat. Jeff Scott, California News.
If you can't recall your own cell phone number, but know the braking distance of a half-ton pickup traveling downhill at 57 miles per hour, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. That's because CarQuest Auto Parts is for those who really know and care about their car. Right now, get a half-inch drive click-style torque wrench, a $34.99 value for just $10 with the purchase of CarQuest Platinum brake pads and 2 rotors. CarQuest is serious auto parts.
See participating stores for details.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. This may be the perfect time to move forward with a new purchase. The feds have not yet increased short-term rates. When they do, we expect both rates and property values to increase. Today, you have an opportunity to qualify for a lower payment and more home than potentially even just a few months down the road. If you have VA eligibility, we can do up to 100% financing. We have loans with as little as 3.5% down, less than 20% down without mortgage insurance. Turned down because you can't qualify with your tax returns? We have special programs that we can use your assets to qualify you, and We have just come out with a bank statement program. If you can't qualify with your tax returns, but can show income through your bank statements, we might have a loan program just for you. There are many possible options that can make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner. Give me a call, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Hey, buddy, I heard the drought's moving in, muscling in on your turf. To make matters worse, the man keeps telling you to limit your spigot. That drought is bad news, no fooling. But me and my boys can help. The Water Boys, on the Water Zone, Thursday nights at 6. We'll help you protect your turf and save water. And hey, don't worry about it. Consider it a gift.
Yeah, Louie, you heard the boss. We gotta listen in at 6 p.m. on Thursday nights.
Okay, Vinny, you got it. The Water Zone, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. I'll tell our lawn it's now protected.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That might have been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best. Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go.
Want to take a ride?
Weeknights at 9 p.m. on KCAA, 1050 a.m.
This is KCAA.
And welcome back here to the second half of the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. Well, I will be starting to work on the newsletter late today and almost the whole day Friday. We'll send it out late Friday night, early Saturday morning sometime. But the key number this week will be, where are we now? With S&P 500 earnings estimates for this year, 2015, and S&P earnings estimates for next year, 2016. And I've been putting it into perspective for you lately by saying, look, we only made $59 per share back in 2009. That's when the market plunged and the S&P went clear down to 660. And we've been climbing out of that hole ever since, and earnings have been growing on the S&P 500 ever since. We're looking for a very small increase in earnings this year versus last year. We've had a couple of big factors, one of them being the plunge in oil prices, the other one being the rising dollar. We've had several companies, many companies, reporting earnings this latest quarter saying we've been hurt by a rising dollar. In fact, I believe Facebook said they would have made a lot more had it not been for a very strong dollar, because when they bring those foreign dollars back and convert them into U.S. dollars, they take a hit to their earnings. And, of course, the energy patch, which is about 10% of the S&P 500, they've also really been hit on earnings. Well, hopefully those two factors are now behind us and growth is resuming now. And I will be updating. We've now got 125 companies, about 140 total of the S&P 500 that have now reported. And I'll be updating my numbers in the newsletter this weekend, which you can get by going to my website at pwstreet.com. That's pwstreet.com. Now, let me just give you a few more. I didn't even get through all of the earnings in the first quarter of the show. Let me just throw a few others out there. O'Reilly beats earnings Cuervo. Not Jose Cuervo, but the semiconductor Cuervo. Semiconductors in general have not been a good sector. I sold my Skyworks, my Cuervo, my NXPI semiconductors quite some time ago, and I'm glad that I did. Facebook, of course, reported earnings. I thought it was a good report, but the stock is down about $3 or $4 today. Allegiant Airlines, they beat earnings quite handily. In fact, we're going to come back to Allegiant here in a moment. Solar City misses earnings. Lam Research beats. FNF, that's another one that I own in my income accounts. They beat earnings. FNF, Fidelity National Financial, that stock's breaking out to new highs today. I still love that thing. Wynn Resorts, they missed by 22 cents, and Whole Foods Market was really the clunker of the day. That's a stock that I have avoided like the plague for a long, long time. It's gone from 57 clear down to 36, and it continues to get pummeled. Everything going wrong at Whole Foods Market. The main thing that's going wrong, the growth. Their growth was only 5% this quarter. That's not going to support the PE ratio that Whole Foods has been able to maintain for quite some time. All right, let's come back to Allegiant. Let's go to Las Vegas. All right, Allegiant is headquartered in Las Vegas. It's one of those no-frills types airlines that looks like a sardine can. I would never fly Allegiant. I have claustrophobia to begin with. I don't know how my father spent 4 years on a submarine. I could have never done it. Allegiant Travel provides point-to-point, low-fare passenger airline service from 81 small cities to 13 leisure destinations. Okay, so if you're living in Pocatello, Idaho, you can drive a little ways, get on an Allegiant, and for $200, fly to a leisure destination, whether it's Vegas or San Diego. I think they fly to Long Beach, I want to say. Mesa, Arizona, Phoenix, other areas, 13 different destinations. It's been an extremely successful business model. Allegiant was a $15 stock back in 2008, and today it's a $211 stock. Earnings have gone from $1.73 back in 2008 to $11.99. That is huge growth. If you compound that out, the growth in earnings at Allegiant Air, where if you want your own seat and not someone sitting in your lap, you have to pay a little bit extra. If you want a full seat and not half a seat, you got to pay a little bit extra. If you don't want some guy's hairy armpit in your face, you got to pay a little bit extra. But it's been a very profitable business model, and it's been a very successful stock. I do own Allegiant. I sold it when it swooned, when oil prices started to come back. Allegiant bottomed at 151, started climbing again, and I bought back into my Allegiant Air, which I have owned off and on over the years. Allegiant is a $3.6 billion company. This is Small Cap Thursday, I guess, because we're featuring two small cap stocks. We featured Bank of the Internet, BOFI, headquartered in San Diego, which has one branch. So if you need money out of your account at the ATM, you got to drive to San Diego, I guess. I guess someday they'll figure out how to send you money via the Internet. We'll have some kind of fiat currency at some point that we can somehow, I don't know. We'll see. Allegiant Travel continues to be a top small cap stock, just like Bank of the Internet. They have a little bit different business model than Delta does, and the stock has done magnificently since they've been a publicly traded company. Here's how the statistics lay out. It doesn't have a 10-year track record, but it's been public for about 9 years now. Over the last 5 years, Allegiant, there's no dividend here, this is pure capital appreciation, has been jetting along at 38.3% per year down the runway, while the market's been at 13.9%. Over the last 3 years, Allegiant has delivered 46% to investors per year average. Let's not forget that GDP over the last 3 years has been growing by 1.5%. Allegiant's been growing their stock price by 46% per year. And over the last 12 months, Allegiant's up 78%. The market's up 7%. Allegiant is one of the top performing stocks in the entire market. It's volatile, though. It does ebb and flow with oil prices, but with oil at $48 per barrel, that's got to be helping a low budget, no frills, cut cost type of operation that Allegiant runs. I saw a guy one day. We have a glider port. No, we have a hang glider port here in San Diego, Torrey Pines State Beach, where people jump off the cliff with their hang glider. It's just not something that, I don't know, everybody's got their thing that gives them their jollies and they like doing. I just don't like jumping off a cliff with a big kite and hoping I land on the beach below, but that's just me. There's motorized hang gliders, too. I saw a guy dangling from a motorized hang glider the other day going along the beach, and I looked up. I said, oh, that's one of those no-frills flights from L.A. to San Diego. Maybe that's the next thing. Going from Allegiant Travel, they'll have these motorized hang gliders that'll get you around place to place, no frills. But Allegiant Airline is also not that expensive for the type of momentum stock that this is. What's the relative strength on Allegiant? ALGT. On a scale of 1 to 99, it's a 96, one of the strongest stocks in the market. Yet it's still trading at a big discount to its growth rate. Remind you that the PEG ratio is very simple. It's the forward PE. So if Allegiant's trading at 205, they're expected to make $12.32 next year. That creates a forward PE ratio of 16.7. It's just simple division. The analysts that cover the stock expect it to grow by 21% per year. 16 is less than 21. That means it's trading at a discount to its growth rate because we get a PEG ratio of less than 1 at 0.78. I come up with a $355 5-year target price on Allegiant, and it's currently trading at $211. So, Allegiant meets my valuation criteria. Allegiant meets my momentum and performance and flourishing criteria. Allegiant meets my chart criteria as it's breaking out to new highs. 4,140 stocks, mutual funds, indexes, ETFs in my database. Allegiant comes up at number 20. And it is one that I own in my aggressive growth small cap portfolio. This is Bill Gunderson. We'll be right back.
Kcaa.
Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
What are the leading asset classes in the market right now? Stocks, bonds, cash, gold?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the leading indexes in the world currently? U.S., Europe, Japan, South America, emerging markets?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best sectors of the market now? Energy, technology, retail, financials, healthcare?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
What are the best stocks in the market now from a valuation, relative performance, and technical perspective? Exxon, Celgene, Apple, Delta, just to name a few.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app database currently has over 4,000 stocks, indexes, exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds to choose from. What are the best ones now?
BestStocksNowApp.com.
The Best Stocks Now app was invented by Bill Gunderson and Douglas Sapperly. Bill Gunderson is the president of Gunderson Capital Management. In addition to the PC version, the Best Stocks Now app is also available on Apple and Android platforms.
BestStocksNowApp.com.
In Farm and Ranch headlines, some Montana ranchers are promoting beef in an interesting way. In the world of running and fitness, it may be a little odd to see a person wearing a cowboy hat and a shirt that has a picture of a beef steak on it. But for several years now, the Montana running ranchers have been using competitive running events to advocate for beef as a part of a healthy diet and lifestyle. The Montana running ranchers recently returned from a 200-mile relay race.
Yeah, we've got the Montana Running Ranchers team, and we're part of the Montana Team Beef program with the Beef Council. And each year we take off and do a long relay race in a separate state, so we can take a little bit of Montana and a little bit of beef promotion and introduce it to folks from across the country. So earlier in July, we went to the northwest coast of Washington for the Ragnar Relay Northwest Passage, and it's a 200-mile relay, and it took us 27 hours to compete with about 500 and some odd teams. It was a pretty neat opportunity to run along the coast there from near the Canadian border to just north of Seattle. And pretty neat experience. Had a lot of questions from folks asking about Montana ranching and asking about beef, and definitely a good advocacy opportunity.
The Team Beef program is a great way for ranchers to share their experience and as beef ambassadors in a very non-traditional way.
The Team Beef program is pretty neat and a great opportunity to connect the ranchers and the ranching community with people who are interested in health and fitness. And as we're engaging in opportunity to take part in these runs, not only in big runs like these Ragnar relays that we take part in outside of the state, but runs across the state, we're able to engage with folks who have those mutual interests and answer questions and promote beef as part of a healthy lifestyle and a healthy diet.
To learn more about the Montana Running Ranchers and Montana Team Beef, visit the Montana Beef Council at montanabeefcouncil.org. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgnetWest.com.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
KCAA.
And welcome back here to the final segment of the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. Well, today we've gone through a slew of earnings reports. I would say today were the busiest days so far amongst the earnings report season. And I would say overall, I would still say about 75% are beating their earnings estimates. The estimates out there for 2015 on the S&P 500 are about $118 per share. Last year, the S&P 500 companies made $116 per share. This year, we'll only see a slight increase over last year, and that's why the market is only up a couple of percentage points this year. But now that we're halfway through the year, the market is eagerly looking ahead and will start playing off and is now playing off of next year's earnings estimates. And those are busily being calculated and recalculated as every company comes in and reports. At least as of last week in my newsletter, I had earnings estimates for next year of $133. That's a big increase over $118. That's about an 8% increase, which would make for a better year in the market next year and the second half of this year, because we're now looking ahead to those earnings next year, if indeed S&P 500 companies can do those kinds of numbers next year. Well, right now, after watching these earnings reports so far, I don't think, we'll see. I mean, until I crunch the numbers, I don't know. I'll be crunching the numbers tomorrow morning, and I'll be updating my estimates for this year and next year on the S&P 500. We've come a long way, baby, from the $59 in earnings that we made back in 2009. And, of course, the market has come a long ways also. And so that earnings growth continues to be a key to the future of this bull market, which is now the third longest bull market in the history of the stock market. How many people out there have been right about this bull market? I don't see many, unless you're one that's bullish all the time. You could say, well, I've been bullish all along. Or if you're one that called it and said, hey, earnings are going to start growing here, and as long as they continue to grow, this bull's going to stay intact. That's the camp that I'm in, and I've been in that camp since March 23rd, 2009. The market has more than tripled now since then. I need to update the commercial that says doubled. The market has now tripled since then. And there's been a lot of people, an awful lot of people, that have thrown darts, that have been contrarians, that have been negative, that have called for rising inflation, plunging dollar. What did the dollar do instead of plunge? It's hurt earnings in the S&P 500 because it's been so strong. Now, I'm not saying that at some point in the future the dollar can't crumble. I don't like all the debt that we've racked up. We should avoid debt like the plague. Instead, we continue to print more. It's obscene. But the dollar, on a relative basis, is the safe haven in the world, is the strongest currency in the world, and it's done just the opposite of what the pundits would have said. They said that commodity prices would soar. No, instead they've plunged, including gold prices. They've been wrong. They were right for a while. Gold was soaring. They should have sold it and locked in profits before it plunged clear back down here to $1,000 per ounce. You kind of got to have a sell discipline too. Anyways, I recently hired a couple of guys, two new guys here at Gunderson Capital Management, both of them recent college graduates. One from Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and the other one from Brigham Young in Provo, Utah. Both recent graduates. And I gave them the first lesson when they came here. I don't know what college taught them. I can remember my dad. I used to drive home from San Diego State. My dad would ask me, did you learn anything in college today? Not really, but I had fun, what the heck. So anyways, I gave them the first lesson. I said, here's a good stock. Here's a bad stock. We put it on the big screen TV in our conference room, and we took it right from my database, right from the Best Stocks Now app, and the bad stock I put up was IBM. I said, here's what a dud looks like. This was about 3 months ago. And I said, here's a good one, Skechers. Why? Because it has that rare combination of performance, momentum, and it's still undervalued. And I'm seeing upgrades to their earnings estimates on a daily basis. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And then I told the story about my son here told me. Of course, I've talked him out of a lot of stocks that really went up, too. I've been wrong just as much as he has. And I said, I told my son, the Skechers, what is up with this thing? I don't wear Skechers shoes. I think I wear New Balance. I have a wide foot. Anyways, Skechers continues to be one of the hottest stocks in the entire market. And so at least those guys with their college degrees at least got a little education and a lesson on how stocks work and the components that I like, the traits that I like to see that make them best stocks now. At least they ought to at least have a little bit of a wow, there's something to this, because they've also seen IBM crash and continue to drift lower ever since they've been working here. Well, they're learning a little bit every single day. Tomorrow we'll have Stephen Knuckles on. He's the Brigham Young graduate. He's also a financial planner. He trained for a year at one of the top insurance companies in America, and I'm glad to have him on board. I can remember the sign. I think, I don't know, maybe it was in college. Failing to plan is planning to fail. You know what? I've learned that so many times. If you don't have a plan before you embark on a project, especially a long-term project, and if you don't remind yourself of where you're at in that plan from time to time, it's best to have that plan in a prominent place and check off your progress along the way towards your goal. So he's here to help people plan. And he'll talk a little bit about that on tomorrow's show. So be sure and catch that. But these college kids, they're learning. They're coming along. And we have a very nice staff here. No grouchy people in our office. Anyways, you can give us a call at 855-611-BEST or get the newsletter. That's a good start. pwstreet.com. Have a great day, everybody.
This show is not a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Bill Gunderson or clients of Gunderson Capital Management may have long or short positions in stocks mentioned during the show. Gunderson Capital Management is a fee-based registered investment advisor. All accounts are held at Scottrade. Scottrade is a member of SIPC and FINRA.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are lower. The Dow's down 72 points. The Nasdaq lower by 22. The GDP expanded at an annual rate of 2.3%, but that was less than what economists were forecasting. Fiat Chrysler is expecting a good year. The company raised its 2015 guidance for revenues and adjusted its operating profit after better than expected second quarter results. Auto parts supplier Delphi Automotive says it's buying Hellerman Titan Group for $1.7 billion. Hellerman Titan is a British manufacturer of electronic cable equipment. How safe is Ford's new aluminum-sided F-150 pickup? The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says the four-door Super Crew version got top ratings in all 5 crash tests it performed, but the smaller Super Cab version did poorly on one frontal crash test. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
This is KCAA.
Good morning. It's 8:02. Quick check of traffic and weather. Looks like a monsoonal flow bringing possible thunderstorms and flash flooding. LA and the OC are going to hit highs in the upper 80s, and we're going to have highs here in the IE in the mid-90s. Beach is going to see temps in the upper 70s. Already it's 78 at Kcaa. Looking at your morning drive, it looks like road construction at the Desert Center. That's I-10 eastbound between Eagle Mountain Road and the 177. And in Corona, we got stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between I-15 and Green River Road. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, Kcaa, 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Wet'n'Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefootin'. In the sun barefootin'. Flow rider barefootin'. Wet n Wild barefootin'. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet n Wild is your place to play barefootin'.
Yeah, you gotta get barefootin' this summer at Wet n Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet n Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefootin'. Getting soaked, barefootin'. Wet n Wild, barefootin'.
Wet n Wild.
Barefootin'. Wet n Wild, barefootin'.
Wet n Wild. Park open daily.
Hey man, what are you doing?
I'm watering my lawn.
Don't you know you can't water your lawn in the middle of the afternoon? Uh-oh, you're in big trouble. Here comes the water police.
Well, what do I do now?
Tune into the Water Zone show on Kcaa Radio Thursday nights at 6 p.m. They'll help you out.
To a radio station where...
It's controlled chaos. Stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Chaos live. KCAA, 1050 AM in the Inland Empire. Also W4CY.com, K4HD.com, and check out the iHeartRadio app, iHeart.com, and tune me in. Gary Garver here. I got breaking news here. Breaking news. Yes, breaking news here. Actually, I like to do this to these two people. Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner meet up for the first time. Yes, breaking news. Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner finally did it. They had a woman-to-woman talk. Wouldn't that be cool to do to them? I would just like, and get away with it. All right, Chris's car was spotted leaving Caitlyn's Malibu home on July 28th. It's the first meeting between Kris and Caitlyn since Bruce Jenner's transformation. He's not transformed, okay? He still has his Johnson hanging, okay? So he's not transformed until that comes off. He's still Bruce Jenner. He's not Caitlyn. Anyways, Kris had not met Caitlyn and was poorly angry about how her marriage ended. Her bitterness was made worse by some of Bruce's comments to Diane Sawyer during his 2020 special. You don't even know if it's a his or her, 2020 special, and we're all screwed up there. Anyways, the meeting was intended to bury the hatchet. Where? Where are you going to bury that hatchet? Anyways, does anybody really care about this? I mean, seriously. I mean, aren't we sick of the Kardashians already and Caitlyn Jenner? I mean, I've had enough of them already. What's wrong with our society that we got to actually care about what these idiots do? I mean, they're in the news every day. I mean, I guess, some people follow it. I mean, the Red Phantom, who I'm dating right now, follows the Kardashians. I'm like, why? It says, because they're bizarre, and I can't stand them. So even if you don't like them, you follow them. I don't know. Anyways, we got a cool show today. We got some special guests in here. We have publicist extraordinaire Roger Neal here. How are you, Roger?
Hey, Gary. Good to be with you.
Usually, you have your guests come in and you just sit in the background and look funny. But today I'm actually going to be interviewing because I have some questions. I was like driving here to the studio this morning, and I have some questions for you because, you've been in the business for like how long now?
Almost 35 years.
35 years. As a publicist?
Publicist, personal manager.
Yeah, and who have you been personal manager and publicist for? Name some of the big stars.
Everybody from Donny Osmond to Lee Greenwood to Bob Hope, Milton Berle.
Bob Hope, huh?
Yeah, last 15 years of his life.
Hey, Ron, bend over. Yeah, I got this golf club. Yeah. Where are the bronze? Yeah, Ron.
Bob Barker. Just lots of, I worked for President Bush Sr. when he was president.
Really?
I did, yeah.
Wow, how was he?
He was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He and Mrs. Bush are great. I was one of 75 people around the country that worked in the capacity that I worked for him, where I took care of him when he came to California. And I had to be, the FBI, IRS, CIA, they all Secret Service. My parents called me one day and said, "Are you in trouble?" And I said, "I don't think so." Well, your second grade teacher was contacted by the FBI, and she called us and said, "Is Roger in trouble?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm working for President Bush Sr." And they have to do a background check.
Background check.
Yeah, so they really go all the way back to like
elementary school.
Yeah, they
wow,
did.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And Bush Sr. seems like he's a nice guy.
Great guy. Second trip with him, he came off of Air Force One, and I went up to greet him, and I went to say my name. He goes, "I know who you are, Roger. It's all good."
Wow.
And Mrs. Bush did the same thing when I took care of her when she came to L.A. During that time. She came off of an airplane, and I said, "Mrs. Bush, it's." She goes, "You don't have to tell me who you are. We know who you are, Roger." And so they were just terrific people. I just thought they were the greatest. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool, man. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Honestly, Roger, I mean, I've known you for many, many years because I go way back with you because I used to do celebrity red carpet interviews for the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like the pariah. I mean, imagine being the pariah of the paparazzi. I mean, that's about as low as you can get. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah, well, listen, you were doing a job. We all have our jobs to do. And, I remember coming to the red carpet to events and when my clients would see you, would go, "I don't want to talk to him." I'd say, "You talk to him."
Yeah.
Because, it was the Howard Stern show.
Right. Huge audience.
When you were there, it was like the height of Howard Stern mania. It was huge.
Yeah.
So I, as a PR person, I wanted my clients to get a hit on Howard Stern. I said, "Look, he's going to ask you wacky, crazy questions." I said, "But just play with him."
Exactly.
Play with him and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I said, because
don't take it personal.
No, we want to get the hit on Howard Stern. So I was, and I had a lot of clients that were afraid to do like Gary used to call me all the time when I had clients in New York wanting to have, "Hey, can you bring so-and-so on?" And a lot of my clients were afraid of him.
Yeah, afraid of Howard, right?
And they were afraid. Yeah, and they were afraid of Letterman too.
Oh, really? Letterman? Why were people afraid of Letterman? Letterman didn't do anything.
Afraid of him for some reason. But the ones I got to play with Howard and with you on the red carpet and with Letterman, it was great coverage for them. So I was like, "Are you guys crazy? This is this is huge."
Honestly, I'll tell you. I mean, I had some friends in the adult business right now. A couple of my good friends still to this day. And like 15 years ago, I used to go to the AVN Awards, the Adult Video News Awards, every year in Vegas to cover it for the Stern Show.
Yeah.
And so one time, this cat tapped me on the back of my shoulder and was like, "Hey, can you interview this person?" And I go, "Who is it?" I didn't care. I'd be interviewing porn stars, asking really wacky questions.
Right.
I mean, beyond what I'd ask the stars and celebrities. And I go, what's her name? He's like, Britney Rears. You know, we're doing a takeoff on Britney Spears. This is before all the parodies, the porn parodies, adult parodies came out. Roger Jr., close your ears. Roger Neil Jr. Don't worry, it's nothing you haven't heard before. Anyways,
That's right.
And we're going to play Roger's song. We'll get into that, but you got a really cool thing happening with Debbie Allen, which is far out. So anyways, so he tapped me on the shoulder and said, Britney Rears. I go, yeah, sure, I'll interview her, you know? So I'll tell you the power of Stern. This is what I'm talking about, and why a lot of people did miss out by not having me interview him. I interviewed her, and Howard played it on the air, and his business blew up. It created a monster. His videos went through the roof.
Yeah.
He was able to get other deals. He did it for like 5 or 6 years, and they really credit me for putting them on the map because of the Stern interview. And that's the power that Howard had. I mean, he still has the power.
Yeah.
But I mean, that real when he was on terrestrial radio, I mean, it was amazing. Number one everywhere.
I would call Gary and say, can you get this client on? And I would be from the most famous to people that were just up and coming. I would want them on Stern. And if we were walking the red carpet and you were there, I would always want you to interview them if you wanted them, because I knew if they got a hit and were heard on Howard Stern, and the ones that were heard, actually, it begat more press for them.
Right.
I would get contact about them. Oh, I just heard your client so-and-so on Howard Stern. Can we get them on? So it would make other media want to interview them, and that's part of my job, is to get the media to want to interview the client. So, you know, for me, it was great.
Yeah, it's weird. It was a totally weird dynamic. I don't think people understand how weird that dynamic was with me and the
totally
PR people and the actors and the paparazzi really couldn't stand me, because of course when I'd ask, you know, and a lot of public relations publicists, you're one of the cooler ones, but I mean most of them, they would like turn red when they saw me and wanted to get
they got very upset.
Oh, they get that. I'm sure you heard, know, many times how they wanted me off the red carpet and throw this guy off. He's with the Stern Show. I mean, I took a lot. By the way, I took a lot of abuse.
PR friends, by the way, you don't know this, but my PR colleagues would call me, and they would say, "Hey, we've got this request from Gary Garver from Howard Stern to be on. They want to come with the crew and they want to cover this event. What do you think?" I would say, "Let them on. Are you kidding? It's great press for the event."
You're the only one, Roger. I mean, the rest of them.
I'm weird that way because, you know, most people in my business, they want the press, but they don't want to give any access.
Right.
So they want the coverage, but no access. I'm the total opposite. I want to give as much access as I can to the client, because I know in the long run it helps the client.
Absolutely.
There's no reason to tease the press and then give them no access. That just makes everybody upset. So
yeah.
I do the opposite.
Well, you're good. That's why you've been doing it for 35 years. I also got to give a shout out to Ed Losey, because Ed Losey, he's cool. He lets me on once a year.
That's great.
I like Ed too.
Yeah,
all right,
great.
Listen. Control Chaos, Kcaa, 10:50 a.m. in the Inland Empire. Gary Garver, Roger Neal Jr. We'll be back with more right after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 10:50 a.m.
Are you feeling tired, depressed, unable to lose weight, and your skin is lacking that beautiful glow? Have you been to a ton of doctors that can't seem to solve your issue? Look no further than Nina MD. Nina MD Beverly Hills can be found at ninamd.com or by calling 310-777-7511. Dr. Nina comes with over 20 years' experience of diagnosing and treating patients who have not had success in the past. At Nina MD Beverly Hills, our passion is to make you feel healthy and look beautiful from the inside out. We provide personalized treatments that are very innovative, cutting edge, effective, and safe. You can watch Nina MD on Time Warner LA 36 to learn about the latest and greatest procedures available. Start feeling your best today. Visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511 to schedule your appointment today.
As the markets continue higher and experts continue to call for a correction, how should you invest? Do you buy now, hoping for higher highs, or wait for a pullback and hope it's not the beginning of a major correction? Do you sell now before the markets correct, or hold on for even bigger gains? Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we believe proactive management is the key to successful investing. We start by developing an investment portfolio that fits your needs and risk tolerance. Then we continue to analyze the markets and your portfolio, making adjustments as market conditions and your lifestyle change. If you're fearful about your investments or unsure which way to turn, call me, Mo Ansari, at 1-800-388-9700, and let's work together to get the most out of these markets, no matter where they're headed. Call 1-800-388-9700, 1-800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Hi, Evil. How you doing today?
Gary, how are you?
Good. Can I ask a couple questions? Who's your hero?
Joe Louis, Eddie R. Carroll. I kind of followed the footsteps of the fellows that I had as heroes, you might say.
What's more dangerous, jumping the Grand Canyon or getting a divorce?
Wrong. It's Snake River Canyon. You got that wrong. It's the Snake River Canyon. Do it over.
What's more dangerous, jumping the Snake River Canyon or getting a divorce?
Jumping the Snake River Canyon and getting a divorce. There's no. Well, what's that kind of a question? That I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
In any of your accidents, have you ever broken your penis?
I don't want to. What do you ask me questions like that for? I mean, that's stupid.
Thanks, Evil. Appreciate it.
Leave no listeners behind. KCAA.
Gary Garver, Jew of the... what can we say that's not going to piss him off? Never mind.
All right, Control Chaos. You're a Jew too, Roger. What are you laughing at? All right. All right. Control Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM. In the Inland Empire, Gary Garver here with Roger Neal. Yes. And Roger, if somebody wants to get, use your services, where would they find you at?
Just go to www.neal.
Roger Neal Jr., why are you grabbing the mic? Can't you tell your kid that doesn't he know Radio 101? You don't grab the mic when you're on the air because it makes sounds like this. All right. Anyways, what is it, Roger?
And you screwed up my plug.
There,
so
www.nealpublicrelations.com. All right, cool. And then you got Roger Neal Jr. How are you, Roger? I saw you. When did you come on the show? About a year ago?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, a year ago.
Well, was it or wasn't? Tell me. I don't know.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Busy, yeah.
Oh, you're busy. Oh, look at this guy.
Last December.
Last December. Okay, there you go. So you should talk to your dad about that. Anyways, listen. You're what would you call yourself? A musician, songwriter, singer, actor, what?
I'm everything. I'm a performer.
You're a performer. Why are you grabbing the friggin' mic as a performer? What a Roger,
That's
come
what
on.
Performers do. We hold mics.
No, you don't. Not when you're on the air. Not when you're on the air because it screws the interview up. There you go. Okay, so you're a performer, and you the last time you were on the air, you had a Christmas song? Was that it?
Yeah, I had a Christmas song.
And what was the song called?
It was called Behind the Christmas Lights.
Behind the Christmas Lights. How did it do? It's on YouTube, isn't it?
It's on YouTube and iTunes. It did really well.
Yeah?
It did really well, yeah.
That's cool. So that was about 6 months ago, right? And okay, so now you got something really cool that's happening with Debbie Allen, who she has a couple shows. What's her show? Scandal or something like that?
Scandal. She just directed like the season finale of Empire.
Oh yeah.
She directed Grey's Anatomy, everything.
So she's getting into the other side of it. I know she's also married to. Is she still married to Norm Nixon, or are they divorced? You don't know.
I have no idea.
I know you don't. Roger, you would know that. Is she still married to Norm Nixon?
I think she is. In fact, her son, Norm Jr., wrote the song that Roger is the star of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote the song.
Wow, that's cool.
So, yeah.
That's cool. And the song is called what? Dream It, Do It?
Dream It, Do It.
And she directed it and the whole thing?
She directed it, the whole entire thing, because it's a song for the performing arts, basically for all schools. It was kind of like an anthem that we made. Basically to show awareness to, because they're trying to take the performing arts out of all high schools.
They are?
Yeah, around LA.
Why are they doing that? That's stupid.
They're doing it for money reasons, but it's really stupid because it's a great outlet for kids and to get them off the streets as well.
Right.
So they're trying to take that out, and this was kind of like an anthem to spark something to tell them not to do.
You mean they're taking out all of LA's Unified School District? Really, the performing arts?
The performing arts.
I don't get that, man.
It's all because of money.
All because of money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it is. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, you know, there's enough money out there if they want to find it. And that's why I say legalize marijuana, so you can fund stuff like this. You know what I mean? I'm not joking, man. I mean, I'm not really kidding about that. I mean, you know, I'm being perfectly serious, because if you do that, because people are going to be smoking it anyways, they're going around it by getting a medicinal marijuana card. You know what I mean? I mean, saying they're schizophrenic or depressed or whatever. Instead, just legalize it, tax it, and then we can have performing arts, things like that. These are the things that we need to do in society that we think that are wrong, that are actually right. You know what I mean? Because you're losing out on and kids are going to be losing out. Like you said, they're going to be going, I mean, where are you going to get this stuff from? Where are you going to go? You know, what are you going to do it privately, and then it's going to cost a boatload of money? Kids can't afford it. You know, a lot of kids can't afford it. You know what I mean? And parents can't afford it. So, and then they're going to go out there and screw around and get into trouble. I mean, that's what most kids do. That's what I did anyways. I mean, those kids have changed that much. So anyways, well, that's cool, man. So, I mean, Roger Jr., I mean, are you going to be represented by your dad or no?
Yeah, I'm represented by
I don't think you should. I think you should probably go to another PR firm. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, I mean, come on. You know, your dad, I don't know. Do you think your dad can pull it off and make it happen for you?
Yeah.
All right. No, just joking. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, listen, go ahead, Roger.
No, I manage him as well. So, you know, I'm in the background making a lot of things happen. But this song actually is helping high schools all over the country, because arts are being defunded nationwide, not just in LA. It's becoming like a pandemic. It's crazy.
Why? I mean, what's the point of
it? They want, you know, they want money for different things for the schools. It's like, you know, a bigger push on, like, you know, the hardcore education stuff, you know, like, you know, the math, the science, the reading, all that kind of thing. But what they don't realize is that the arts is really what keeps a lot of the kids off the streets. It keeps kids out of trouble. And I'll tell you something, the arts makes stars. This is where stars come from, are the performing arts schools. And I just take Roger for an example. When he got into the performing arts high school, when he went to Hollywood High School, and the performing arts magnet was there, and then went down to VAPA, Ramon C. Cortines, which is where this video was shot. You know, the performer that he's become, he wouldn't be sitting here today if he hadn't had that opportunity to be in the performing arts in high school, because it just made him into the performer he is. And the teacher that they had, Stormy Sachs, I mean, what he did with Roger's voice and as a performer is phenomenal.
Not only that, you know, I mean, you know, kids are so locked into their phones now that there's no communication with each other. They don't have any one-on-one communication with each other. It's all texting. I mean, they don't call each other anymore. It's all texting or social media or blah, blah, blah. This is a way for kids to be creative and bounce stuff off and use their brain and use their social skills, because that's what we're losing in society. And that's why society is so screwed up. I really believe this is that people are losing their social skills. So they don't know how to cope with somebody that doesn't like them, or doesn't know, or they can't deal with something, you know, personal or something like that, because they don't bounce it off each other. They keep it within themselves, and then they explode and do stupid stuff like kill people.
I was sitting in a movie theater with my kids a few years ago. There's a whole row of them, right? And there's silence.
Right.
They're texting each other while they're sitting next to each other before the movie started, and no one's having a conversation. What Stormy really taught these guys, which I think is awesome. By the way, there's a reality show being developed around Roger and his sister and 4 of his classmates. That's going to be really great.
You're making some money off your kids. Good
called
for you.
Straight to Stardom. Hey, somebody's got to pay for my retirement. Called Straight to Stardom. You know, the opportunity, like he was Benny and In the Heights, the LA production of In the Heights.
Yeah.
And Stormy brought in an orchestra. He brought the touring set from Broadway. They got the choreographers from Broadway to come in and teach them the show. And Roger, I was sitting there in one of the performances, and this very famous actor was there in the audience. A lot of stars came to see this production. And he turned around at the end of the first act, and the guy was crying, and he says, "Do you know who the parent is of the young man that was just singing?" And I said, I'm his dad. He said he touched me. I mean, the guy he was a grown man crying. He brought the guy to tears through his performance. So, I mean, that would never have happened if he hadn't had the the arts experience in high school.
No, I dig it. I think that's ridiculous that they're going to be taking that out and they're trying to delete it from the high schools and stuff like that. Because, I mean, like I said, it's a way not only to be creative, to be able to take the kids off the streets, but for them to communicate. So we're going to play your song in a little bit, okay? But I want to get into this story. This is a crazy story. I'm sure you don't know anything about Jimmy Hoffa, right, Junior?
No, not really.
All right, but Roger Sr. does.
Yeah.
It's a huge story about Jimmy Hoffa, how he – and by the way, they also found supposedly a piece of the Malaysian Flight 370. I still don't believe it. I still think aliens took it, but we'll see what happens there. But they did find something off the French island 2,000 miles away, so it was pretty far off. But new evidence has emerged on Jimmy Hoffa's fate. Now, this guy has disappeared he was a Teamster boss, years and years ago, and it was a big thing. Basically created the Teamsters and unions and things like that. Anyways, he disappeared about 40 years ago. One of the greatest unsolved mysteries in U.S. history. So there's new evidence saying that he was put in a 55-gallon drum. A mobster who was believed to be involved in the labor boss's disappearance suggested before he died last year that the feds were on the right track when they searched a New Jersey dump for Hoffa's remains, a report says. Investigative reporter Dan Moldia confirmed that the FBI searched the dump in 1975 looking for a 55-gallon drum they believe the Teamsters boss had been entombed in. What a way to go, huh? Wow. Moldia's source was Philip Moscato, the mobbed-up owner of the toxic site under the Pulaski Skyway when it was dug up. Moldia revealed in a story being featured Thursday that he conducted several taped interviews of Moscato about the Hoffa case before the old dude died of natural causes on Valentine's Day 2014. I promised him, Moscato, I wasn't going to cause him any trouble while he was alive, Moldia told the Daily News. Moscato, an associate of the Genovese crime family, confirmed that the snitch, Ralph Picardo, told the FBI in 1975 that Hoffa was buried in a drum at the dump. They dug the dump up for 3 months, Moscato said, according to the news report. That was Hoffa in the 55-gallon drum. Picardo said a pickup truck brought the truck in and Hoffa was in it, and we buried him. Although Picardo allegedly implicated Moscato as helping dispose of Hoffa's remains, the wise guy never admitted he participated in it. Wow. Anyways, basically what they're saying is that Jimmy Hoffa is buried in a New Jersey dump in a 55-gallon drum. But I mean, Roger, do you really believe they're ever going to find Jimmy Hoffa? I mean, this has been going on for 40 years.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that guy could have probably gave them the location, but if he's put in a dump where they dump garbage and stuff at 40 years of all that stuff, I don't think they'd ever find him.
Sure, and they probably broke his bones up. I mean, they probably turned him into dust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, he probably was there. But they're never gonna find. They'll find the Malaysia Flight 370. Before they find before they find Jimmy Hoffa. But I mean, it is a fascinating story about Jimmy Hoffa because they never. It's the mystery for years and years and years is that where is Jimmy Hoffa? Where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why it was such a huge story, but it was. I remember growing up, it was.
Well, he was a very, powerful figure.
Yeah, he was.
He was very political, very powerful. And obviously there were some people that wanted him out of the way because he was starting to, make a real impact. It was all about the unions and
the mob, too. I'm sure the mob didn't want him around either. He's starting to talk.
Yep.
And Jack Nicholson played Jimmy Hoffa,
right.
didn't he?
It was a great movie.
It was. All right, Control Chaos here. Kcaa 1050 AM, Gary Garver, Roger Neal Jr., and we'll be back with more chaos. Or maybe not. Who knows? All right, we'll be back after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511. 1511.
This is Jigga Jones. If you missed any part of the show, go back and check it out on iHeartRadio.com.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 and be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
Yeah, I'm with Howard.
Yeah, what's your name?
Gary.
Gary.
Nice to meet you, Eddie.
Do you want
to talk to him, or you can I talk to her, or it's up to you, whatever.
I got nothing to say, but you can ask me.
Can I ask you? Roth and Hagar was on the Howard show. They're doing that tour. What do you think of that?
What do you think?
Well, I think it's sort of. I don't know. I think it's sort of cold. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Get your answer.
What?
I don't think about it.
You don't think about it?
No.
Hey, can I say, what's your strategy for happiness?
Is there one?
I just be happy.
There you go.
I'm answering my own question.
That's right. That's what I meant.
Who do you hate in show business?
Me. Who do you hate?
I don't know anybody.
I don't either.
What do you think about Rosie O'Donnell coming out of the closet?
I didn't know she had a closet.
Never
been to her house.
Why are so many Jews in the music business?
Whoa. I don't know. Ask Howard.
And can I ask you one more?
What?
Have you ever done a black chick?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't?
Yeah, I have.
Then why are you asking me?
Just curious.
Oh.
Hey, what do you
people?
What do you think of Howard?
I don't think.
You don't think about it?
I don't think about anything. No.
How's your golf game going?
I don't think about it. I don't know. I'm just here being, having fun.
That's cool.
When I think I get my own way.
And your cancer's beat, huh?
I got 100% clean bill of health.
I'm glad, man. You're the best, man. My ex-wife loves you, man.
Well, that's why she's your ex. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
This is the Gary Garver Show. If you're not listening to Gary, you.
All right. You like that? I love it. Yeah. All right, it is Control Chaos here, KCAA 1050 AM in the Inland Empire, also W4CY.com, K4HD.com, and iHeartRadio, iHeart.com. Gary Garver here with Roger Neal Jr. and his father, Roger Neal, his manager. Does your dad ever give you a hard time about anything? Do you guys have arguments about how your career is going to go and all that?
Yeah, sometimes we have creative differences.
Oh my God. With your own kid, huh, Roger? All right.
Hey, listen, I've been around a while.
I know.
I've created stars, so I feel like, hey, I've got some wisdom to impart.
Right.
Listen to me.
Yeah. I mean, do you listen to your dad?
I do. I listen to him, but I also give him, light on what's new and what's hot and what's happening.
Yeah. So you're in tune with what's going down and
yeah.
Yeah. No. Right. I dig it. I mean, I'm sort of out of touch too, even though I'm in touch, but I'm out of touch. You know what I mean? So
I've learned, you learn with every client that you have.
Right.
And I've learned with him, he's a pretty smart guy.
Right.
Doesn't know everything, but.
Well, of course not. How old are you, anyways?
I'm only 18.
Yeah, you're 18. Oh, so you can. Okay, cool.
But what's amazing in the studio, he's really good. He
discipline.
And he can hear things that most people that Christmas song he did. He heard, oh, that's supposed to be an A sharp and then an A flat. I mean, he got technical like that.
Wow.
Which amazed me because I don't know where he got it because I'm not that smart.
Yeah, well, I know that. Well, his mom gave it to him. That's what happened.
I guess.
Yeah, your wife. He got it from his wife.
Well, we'll just say yes.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll play your song in a minute. But we were talking off the air about this guy. you actually know who he is. You never run into him though, have you?
No, but I know his name. I mean, I
Okay,
know what he
this
does.
guy and the crazy thing is, I love this show. And how bizarre is this? Actor, Law and Order director J.C. Alexander allegedly shared porn videos. I mean, this guy's directing Law and Order and allegedly shared porn videos. Actor and director Jason Alexander, J.C. Not the Jason Alexander in Seinfeld. Okay, I just want to make that perfectly clear. Has been arrested in New York for allegedly sharing child porn, according to the New York Post. Best known for his Law and Order affiliation, the 50-year-old has reportedly been charged with felony counts of promoting and possessing an obscene and sexual performance by a child. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, what do you think they now? This guy, you said some of these idiots do it for publicity. And I think this is a little bit beyond publicity.
Yeah, I mean, I when I first heard it, I thought, oh, it's a PR stunt, or oh, he's trying to get some media coverage and media, because a lot of times when these things happen, there's a scandal. Then it ends up making them hot. It ends up making everybody want to work with them. Like it happened with Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, you were telling me Pee Wee Herman is coming back.
A new movie, new feature film, and I can't remember the director's name, but it's a huge current director who is.
And it's gonna be on the big screen.
Oh, it's a major movie.
Oh my God!
So he's coming. He's coming back. And he's coming back now. There's been some years since he got in trouble.
When was the last? Yeah, PB. For who you guys? What the hell? What's his name again? Paul Rubens. Yeah, Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. I don't know, years ago. I was about 15 years ago.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, but he won. His show was his television show that he had on for kids was winning Emmy Awards every year.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
And the movies were huge. I mean, I have the movie, and I still pop it in sometimes to watch it. It was a great movie.
Hopefully you don't do what he did at the movie.
No, I do not do that. No, I do not do that. But then Fred Willard did the same thing he did just a couple of years ago, and now everybody wants Fred Willard on their show. I mean, it made him hotter.
That's crazy. If you don't know what happened, I mean, for people, I'm sure most people know, but Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, went into some adult theater and pleasured himself to a movie, and he got caught. You know what I mean? That basically, I mean, here's Pee Wee pleasuring himself. You know what I mean? Now he's got a big movie. That's how crazy Hollywood, isn't that? That's what I'm talking about. The asinineness of Hollywood is that it's crazy that, here you are, you're a big star, you do something stupid, they tear you down, they rip you apart, blah, blah, blah. They build you back up, right? And then they'll probably tear them apart again. I mean,
it's how they love to do that in Hollywood.
Why did they do that, Roger? Why would somebody want to do that? I mean, is it second chances, or is Hollywood just so weird and corrupt and bizarre? I mean, there's so much stuff we don't know. I mean, and there's rumors about all sorts of people, from Tom Cruise to John Travolta to God knows who else, about certain things, and it seems, I mean, is Hollywood dirty?
Sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's about ratings for television.
Right.
It's about box office for film, and for publications, it's about selling magazines or selling papers. And they're going to, if they can find a scandal, they don't care who you are. It sells papers. I was telling they put Robert Wagner on the cover of the Inquirer at least 3 or 4 times a year with new supposed information about Natalie Wood. But it's not really new. But he sells so many magazines for them,
right?
That they when they want to boost their circulation, they put it out there.
Sure, because I mean that whole thing where Natalie Wood drowned and Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner were on the boat and Natalie Wood drowned.
And look what that did for Christopher Walken's career.
Yeah,
he still works today.
Yeah, he took off. I mean, his career didn't end.
Nah.
His career took off.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's bizarre, but I mean, if you don't know the story, they were all together on a boat and Natalie Wood drowned. Supposedly, foul play was involved because maybe Christopher Walken and her were having an affair. Who knows what the hell was going on? Nobody knows to this day what went down with that either. It's sort of like the Hoffa case, you know what I mean? Nobody really knows the true story behind it. So, but it is bizarre, like you said, that they'll just do it. They'll just put it out there and run the same. Hey, let's run that story that we ran 3 years ago.
That's right.
And just put change a couple words in it. It's a very strange business that we're in.
And even though all of that about Robert Wagner, he's still very beloved.
Yeah.
And when he appears on a television show as an actor, as a guest star, the ratings go way up.
Yeah.
Everyone tunes in to watch him.
Of course. I mean, he is a huge star. You know what I mean? I mean, when they met, it was murder. You know what I mean? What was that? Hot to hot.
Heart to heart.
Hot to hot. Hey, kid, when they met. It was murder. Max. All right, I love it. Yeah, Max, right? That was it, Max. We're going way back, Junior. You know what I mean? We're going way, way back. Well, cool, man. Oh, so what's the name of your song again, my man?
It's called Dream It, Do It.
Dream It, Do It. Okay, we're gonna play it at the next break. I'm gonna play it. You guys drink coffee and Starbucks and all that stuff?
I do.
You drink? How about you, Roger? You don't drink coffee?
I don't know. I do Starbucks, but I do smoothies.
You do smoothies? Actually, you know what? And I know my mom's probably listening right now. This is good news, Mom, because you drink coffee like a fish. Moderate coffee consumption keeps the brain strong. This is pretty bizarre. Research has shown that coffee is good for your heart, and it may protect you against stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. A new study reinforces the benefits of coffee, particularly its cognitive and neuroprotective benefits. A study published in the journal Alzheimer's Disease examined like 1,500 people between the ages of 65 and 84 using data from an aging study in Italy. Interestingly, the researchers found that older people who consistently drank more and more coffee over time actually saw higher rates of mild cognitive impairment than people who drank only about a cup of coffee a day, which I do. I only drink 1 cup of coffee. So I guess coffee isn't going to help me. You got to drink mass amounts of coffee.
Wow.
But anyways, supposedly the study shows that if you drink lots of coffee in moderation, I mean, not overdo it every minute, have a cup of coffee, but it will actually help you with your brain as we get older, Roger. So, I mean, you're in your 50s. We're the same age, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, when you hit 65, start drinking a lot of coffee. It'll help your brain out. You know
drink
what I mean?
coffee?
Yeah, I drink coffee.
You drink coffee?
When did that start?
Why? You get why?
No, I'm cool, but I just didn't know you drink coffee.
When I was in high school.
Oh, really?
Wow.
How old were you?
I was like 15.
Oh, so this is something new.
I just found out something.
There
new.
you go.
Wow.
You sound that. Now I hope you don't get any trouble for that, Roger Jr. You don't care about him drinking coffee,
No,
right?
I don't care.
Coffee's not bad for you. I mean, I didn't start drinking coffee until my 20s. You know what I mean?
My wife's a huge coffee drinker. My dad is a big coffee drinker.
Yeah. So you're cool. Yeah.
I love the smell of it. I just can't get past the taste of it.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like beer. You know what I mean? But I've gotten past the taste of beer big time. Yeah. Well, anyways, listen, if you're drinking lots of coffee out there, you're doing the right thing because there's always, but supposedly, that's what it says. And the other thing about coffee is crazy, and these apps. That's why I still have my flip phone, guys. This is one of the reasons I still have my flip phone. 6-way Starbucks and other major chains could be spying on you. Okay, this is crazy. This is true. They have apps for Starbucks and things like that.
I have one.
And they give you, I guess you have to give them all sorts of information, right? All your information.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they're using this against you guys. You know what I mean? They're using it. They're saying, and by the way, they're saying Starbucks is Starbucks app lets you buy. What am I doing? I should read the story before I actually go on the air. You know what I mean? Anyways, they in exchange for the app, some personal information from you, namely who you are, where you are, and who you are, calling and texting. And it also wants the ability to modify or delete the contents of USB storage. I don't get that. Why do they want to be able to delete your USB storage? Do you understand that at all?
No, I've had my Starbucks app for a long time. I didn't have to do any of that kind of stuff. Mine was when I had my Starbucks app, I still have it because I have a gold card for Starbucks.
Well, anyways, I'm telling you, this
is new then.
This is new. I'm telling you, and not only are they using it, Chipotle, Domino's, Taco Bell, Dunkin' Donuts are using the same thing. They want your information. That's why I don't do this. That's why I have where's my flip phone? Oh my God, where's my flip phone? Anyway, this is why I have it. So nobody can steal my information. I don't want anybody to know who I am or where I'm at or what my name is or anything. I don't want any of that. So beware, people. Beware of those apps. Anyways, Control Chaos. We're going to get to Roger Jr. song after the break. Roger Sr. And I'm Gary Garver. That's right. I need my cup of coffee. We'll be back after this.
What does the black say? Check it out. Check it out. Check fried chicken now. What the black say? What does the black say?
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Are you feeling tired, depressed, unable to lose weight, and your skin is lacking that beautiful glow? Have you been to a ton of doctors that can't seem to solve your issue? Look no further than Nina MD. Nina MD Beverly Hills can be found at ninamd.com or by calling 310-777-7511. Dr. Nina comes with over 20 years' experience of diagnosing and treating patients who have not had success in the past. At Nina MD Beverly Hills, Our passion is to make you feel healthy and look beautiful from the inside out. We provide personalized treatments that are very innovative, cutting edge, effective, and safe. You can watch Nina MD on Time Warner LA 36 to learn about the latest and greatest procedures available. Start feeling your best today. Visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511 to schedule your appointment today.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the wealth management solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just try to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Do you condemn Will Smith for his pro-Hitler comments?
No, man, I don't condemn anyone for anything.
Would you feel uncomfortable with OJ was participating in this golf event?
As long as he wasn't in my foursome, no, I wouldn't mind.
Would you let Britney Spears babysit your children?
Don't have any kids that are that young. I think people should actually just let her alone. Maybe she'll, be okay.
Which form of lethal execution do you support?
Overdosing on cocaine.
What's your favorite porno movie?
Pulp Friction.
Do you think it's okay to hit a woman if she hits you first?
Depends on how big she is.
Who will you vote for in the presidential election?
Don't know yet. Got to see who's running.
Would you ever vote for a Scientologist for president?
I don't know. Depends on what his platform is.
Do you believe Roger Clemens saying he did not do steroids?
Sure I do.
And have you ever tried anal?
Anal what?
Anal sex.
What, you mean personally or on me or with someone else?
Well, it's pretty hard to do.
Incriminating, huh?
Yeah. One other question. Did you ever have a partner with smelly junk?
A partner with smelly junk? Yeah, everybody's had one of those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many?
I don't know. When you're a kid, you don't care.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, man.
The man that Howard Stern fired and said he would never work in radio again. That's right. It's the second coming of Gary Garver.
I used to be such a sweet.
And there won't be another. All right, it is Controlled Chaos on Kcaa 1050 AM in the Inland Empire. Gary Garver here with Roger Neal Jr., performer extraordinaire, 18. Hopefully you'll make your dad a lot of money.
Let's hope so. That's the goal.
There you go. And be a big star. And I can say, I had Roger Neal Jr. on my show. When he was a nobody. Yeah, you're somebody. You're always somebody. I hate when they say, you're a nobody. When I was a nobody. Weren't you always somebody? I mean, right. Why would you say you're a nobody? Mm-hmm. Isn't that a put down? Even though I'm a nobody. You don't need to be one. All right, listen. And also, the song's called Dream It, Do It. We're also here with Roger Neal Sr. PR firm is called what, Roger?
It's NPR and management, Neal Public Relations and Management.
And if somebody wants to get management or get some publicity or get some help, promoting their stuff, where do they go?
www.nealpublicrelations.com.
Yeah, you've had a lot of cool guests on the show. You brought a lot of cool, like Rhonda Shear, Catherine Falk, and a few others. And then this chef, what was his name?
Chef Kurt Ehrlich.
Yeah, Chef Kurt. He came on my show about 3 months ago. He contacted me via Facebook. I guess he opened up a new restaurant in Thousand Oaks. He's a chef over there.
He's a chef at a new German restaurant.
Yeah, new German restaurant in Thousand Oaks. So he asked me to come on the show and blah, blah, blah. And I go, sure. He'll bring me some strudel and the whole thing. You know what I mean? So anyways, he comes on the show. And, of course, he had been on the show before. And I don't know if he cussed on that show. Did he swear on that show at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I told him, I said, hey, you got to watch your language and blah, blah, blah. So he goes, okay, no worries. So 5 minutes into the show, he uses the S word, okay? And right on the air. And because I asked him some question, I go, okay, listen, man, you can't say that. You can't cuss again. Remember, this is FCC, AM radio, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sorry, guys. Sorry. Come back from the break, okay? We start talking about another thing, and he drops the F-bomb right on the air. Like, after I just told him and read him the riot act on the air about not swearing. So I'm sorry, Roger, but I had to throw him right out off the air.
See, he'll learn his lesson then.
I guess. I feel bad.
See what happens when he doesn't come with me. See what happens?
Exactly. See, that's why you need representation from Roger Neal Sr. because you won't be dropping the F-bombs, during the show because Roger, you will tell them not to do that this is terrestrial radio.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. It was bizarre. Anyways, I'd still like to go get that, go have dinner over there, but maybe he'd poison my food or something. I mean, maybe you think he'd still... I don't know. Maybe I should stay clear of it, huh?
If you want to do it, I'll hook it up.
All right, cool. I mean, I feel bad for him. He did apologize, and I did feel bad.
Oh, that's good.
But I mean, still, man. I mean, you could have cost me my,
That's true.
If the owner of the radio station wasn't so cool, I probably would have got thrown off the air.
See, that's a knucklehead. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean that you're jeopardizing my career.
That's true.
So that was the problem with it. But anyways, he's a nice guy, and if you want to talk to him, tell him
I'll do it.
Tell him
I'll smooth it.
Tell him I'll come. Well, it's nothing to smooth out. I'm cool with it. Just tell him that
tell him to take care of you.
He can come back on the air. Just tell him he's allowed back on the air.
You got it.
But if he swears, I swear to God, I'll cut him with his. I'll cut him like I'll do a Bruce Jenner on him, and I'll turn him into Caitlyn if he does.
There you go.
I literally will. I promise you. All right, and Junior. So where are you at right now? What are you going to school or what's your plan? You're 18. Did you just finish high school or what?
I finished high school about a year ago, and now I'm just devoting my whole time into doing this demo for a record label. I'm in the studio all the time.
All right, cool.
I'm taking dance classes, the whole nine.
You're doing the whole 9 yards, and Dad's paying for it, huh?
Most definitely.
It's all right. Hey, listen, it's almost better than going to college because it's $40,000 a year to go to college, and normally you don't get anything out of that anyways. This is something that you enjoy doing. It's your passion, you love doing. So that's what you really want to do. And for kids out there that you're sort of lost and don't know what you really want to do, just don't go to college or university and then just not sort of just wander through it. Pick something you like doing and stick to it. That's what I did when I was 21. I picked radio. Okay, it was a big mistake, but what am I going to do? It's too late now. You know what I mean? But stick to your guns. Okay, if somebody wants to hear some of your music, we're going to play Dream It, Do It. This is for the performing arts that are being canceled out all over L.A. and the country. So if somebody wants to see some of your other stuff or hear some of your other stuff, where they go?
You just go to YouTube and type in Roger Neal, and it'll take you straight to my page, and you can look at all that. I also have a website, www.rogerneal.com.
All right, cool. Right on. Okay, well, let's hear this. Let's Dream It, Do It. You're the lead singer here, right?
Yes,
You're the main cat. This is Debbie Allen production.
Yes,
you can check this up on YouTube. Hit up Roger Neal Jr. or Dream It, Do It. Is that what the link is?
Just Dream It, Do It.
Dream it, do it, do it, dream it, do it, do it, dream it. All right, here we go. It's Roger Neal Jr.